Hello.
Coach K,
How's
how are
it?
you?
Oh, good. How are you? Got some new AirPods?
Oh no, these are the
Oh,
ones I've
okay.
been using.
Oh, okay.
Um, but sometimes they may be black though. I use different headphones. Yeah, it's not new, but yeah, every once in a while I have this. But other than that, you might see the Beats Pro, the little
Mm,
black ones. Yeah, yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah. What's going on in your life? Anything new?
No, just, the usual. How
Yeah.
about you?
I wish I had a life like yours. Just low
I-
key.
I'm
Uh,
trying to not
yeah.
spiral.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna
I'm
talk
trying
about
not to
jealousy
go
today.
there.
You trying to go there? I'm just saying,
You
every
know
time
what I
I don't think I've ever seen you. Well, that's not true. I was gonna say I don't think I've ever seen you like well, no, I've never seen you like sad or have a bad day. I've seen some in the moment stuff like but not like so yeah, I want to have a life
Yeah,
like
I
yours
tried
where
to see, but then I started thinking, I'm like, I don't know. I will find stuff but I try
uh,
to keep like at least when I show up or, when I work or whatever. But yeah.
right.
How about you
That makes
though?
sense. Yeah, I mean like
How
my
you
folks
doing?
couldn't tell, they couldn't tell if something was I'm a masker or I don't hold on to feelings too long. Um
Right.
and then yeah, I don't hold
Mm.
well, I can be sensitive, but other than that, like radical acceptance, it is what it is. You have to let it go. Be mindful. Uh, Shifting perspectives. Actually, that's what it
Ye-
is. I can
yes.
shift multiple perspectives. Still doesn't mean that I don't have my feelings. I still feel a certain way, but I can shift a perspective and see both sides, all sides, and then
Mm-hmm.
let it go. Let it go.
Yes.
Easier said than done for the larger things. Usually things where something I don't know. So it's like you send someone home
Yes.
on suspension at a job, and it's like, yep, we'll talk to you. Don't pass go. Just we'll get a hold of you.
Right.
That's like, oh my gosh, how do you deal with that?
Yeah,
So
that's
some of those
heavy.
skills, yeah, some of those skills I mentioned work temporarily, but other than that, it's not until I know. And then it could be the worst thing in the world that I find out, but it's like, oh, okay, at least I know. Oh, that's horrible, but at least I now know.
Right. And I will say, I think, and I have to remind myself of this a lot. And I had just talked to my twin because this is her first day back at work. She was on
Okay.
maternity leave. So she was really bummed and
Mm,
feeling, lack of a better word, almost like a victim because she's like, I shouldn't be here. I should be with,
mhm.
at home with the baby. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to do this. I should be, I wish my husband made enough money. And I was like, hey, I think that's, I mean, I don't have kids, but I was like, I think that's, well, not that that would matter with my client, but
Hmm.
I think that's okay. And I was like, maybe just let yourself go there for a little
Yeah.
bit. Don't,
Yeah.
because sometimes things suck, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that they suck.
Right.
Now, I said when you're ready, you might have to start noticing what's not useful and also how you want to work because you want,
Hmm.
and she even admitted this. She wants to help provide a certain life for her family, and that also is a part of motherhood. So it's
Right.
like kind of
Right.
again shifting those perspectives, but also when things really aren't great to just surrender to it and not
Hmm.
try to, push against it or whatever. But yeah.
Right.
So
And to see how it's serving you now in the moment. Like, I mean, you might be
right.
spot on with it, but just right now, how is that serving you? Right.
Right.
And how much
It
is it actually taken away from an
right.
authentic experience?
That's what I
Um,
said to her too. I said, don't bring, but also don't bring this home because you're talking about how you want to be home with a baby and all that.
right.
But now you're coming home and being a monster.
And bringing that.
So it's like, You don't do that either.
Yep.
So anyway, but yeah.
All right. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
How are you though? How's everything in your
I'm
world
okay.
going?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a struggle, but I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna get through it. Being a man is tough these days. Oh man. Now, I mean, it'd be easy to argue, well, being a woman has always been tough. I'll just say being a man these days is woo. Being a
Yeah.
strong man these days is woo. Being a strong black man these days is woo. But
Sure.
also, white man is catching it too. So the white man is getting the blame for everything. They are catching it. So I don't want to act like,
No
the
one's
black
safe
man,
out
the
here.
white man right now is like, ooh, yeah, no one is safe. No one is safe.
Right.
So, but
with
and then
you.
I'm a warrior, so part of me says I'm built for it. Let's go. And then every once in a while I have to get up off my knee, like down on one knee and get up, fight, and then whoo. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah. By the way, just heads up, your camera or something is lagging, and then it's catching up and it's lagging. So I just want to let you know. Unless it's
turn
just
this
me.
definition down. I'm trying some new tech stuff here. Let me turn this definition down just a second.
Your camera does look very crispy though.
Yeah, I was trying to get the best of the best.
Clear.
I wanted to be crystal clear.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is crystal for sure.
I'm looking for a wife up here, by the way. Let me see camera.
Hey, that one girl, she is. I love her stuff, by the way. Here, but we're already going together.
She's out of my league, though. I couldn't handle her.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm out of her league.
Right. That's right.
Actually, I'm in everyone's league, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't have to always entertain, keep up.
Whatever. Well, I'll just introduce.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. No, I can see you.
All right, cool. There we go.
It's still.
Yep, still lagging a little bit.
Yeah.
I know this. Maybe I got to close some of these windows. All right.
I don't know how it works, but
yeah. You gonna do some intros? I'll work on the camera stuff here in a second, if you don't mind.
Sure, and I'll say hey to the chat. But welcome everyone to the Black Men Unfiltered Network. This is our Thursday show. Hey, Lady Devoa. It's our Thursday show, Breaking the Cycle with Dr. Nakumbe and me, Coach K. And we talk about pretty much all things mental health, relationships, all cultural things, all the things. And we're here for the conversation. And let's see, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like the video on your way in, or if you're catching the replay, hit the notification bell so that you are notified when all the Black Men Unfiltered shows are live. And in the chat, hey, Lady Navoa, my favorite girl and beautifully animated. She's always here. Thank you for rocking with us. We have Trey Ferg. He was here with us last week. We had a great conversation as usual. Hopefully we get some more people straggling in. I know we do sometimes have some big streamers, but it is what it is. We're here for the conversation. And tonight's show, we're talking about, am I cheating or are you tripping? So I'm excited for this.
Part of the reason for that, I'm going to get my camera. Hopefully you see me again. Shout out to everyone who you just mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's
all right. Shout out to Sir Hales in the house, Lady Navoa, beautiful animated. Good to see you.
Oh, I missed you.
Trey, Ferg, and everyone that you mentioned. Welcome everyone. So I just want to give my shout outs. For those who come in, I'll scan every once in a while to give respect. But if I miss you, just bear with me or bear with us. Tonight, jealousy. Now, Coach, overall, the topic, jealousy is a normal thing. So jealousy is a normal feeling. But listen, when I just finished telling you, being a man these days has a different definition. And when search engines and stuff can change definitions, if you look up some words and then do the archive of that same word, and you will see how the definitions changed. Now, one, who created the word in the first place? Like what Dr. Yahoo or what person created this word back in the 1800s and 1900s doesn't mean someone can't change it in the 1900s and 2000s. Totally get it. But when you can just do anything you want, and be anybody you want to be, that also changes the definition or the way we look at jealousy. You know, before people wondered, is it this, is it that? But I wanted to add an element. Do you know, Coach, if you're blind, if a person is blind, you know, they can go to blind school, they can get a seeing dog, get all kind of services.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this clip. I had a better clip. This one should work too. In this last second here, so I don't even know if CBN can play it. Did you know you could be blind and play football? Did you hear about that?
I've seen a TikTok/Vine before. That's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's funny or not, but maybe.
Yeah, if you could be blind, and if you say you want to play football, come on. As long as you can make it on to the field.
Okay.
Again, this version of it is not my favorite, but I just sent the clip in the back. I'll put it in the chat too, just so if others want to see it on themselves. But now again, I'm not here to shoot down the blind. If you want to be blind and play football, awesome. More power to you. But the point is, and this is a Cat Williams clip. So those of you who do not like Cat Williams, okay. But don't get caught. So, try not to get so caught up on what Cat's saying as much as
this is the one I've seen.
Yeah, but there's a different one where Cat talks about it first. Yeah, and you get to see the kid swinging his arms and all kind of stuff. Again, that's cool. Shout out to the blind. I have nothing against it. In fact, you know, the SEDS, they talk about using sign language and stuff for people who are mute and different things. But to the point when you can do anything you want. Look, watch this.
Blind person can't play football.
I think it's fucked up. I'm just gonna say that. I
understand he don't even know if he on the field or not. You understand me? Like sometimes somebody just tackle him out of nowhere. It's fucked up for him. Like there used to be a person in the school district that would say things like, "No, it's a new day and age. You do what the fuck you want to do. You hear me? You a fuck if you blind. If you can find your way to the coach's office, bitch, they got to let you play."
Right.
No, I can't see, and a lot of people think that
Cool. Thank you. So I know. Hey, and again, that, yay for the kid. You can just do what you want, but so my argument is, how many couples are actually now? I won't call this kid gaslighting. I won't call that gaslighting, but it's a form of changing the narrative, So here's my point. How many people now are changing the narratives in their relationship, and what used to be kind of okay behavior is now what you accuse me conveniently, strategically, or you really believe it, that is now cheating.
Okay.
So that's why I ask, hey, am I really like, well, hold on, is this really cheating, or am I just like, what's really going on? It was old style cheating, or I don't know if you call it old style, but here's an example. And if you would play this one again, I know it's a short second link, last minute link here. If you can play this would be great. And it starts at the 2 minutes and 2:05. Yeah, 2:05. If you could play that one, that would be great. Oh, I froze again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It just caught back up again.
All right. So 2:05. If you're able to play that one, that would be great. And I put this here in the chat. And it's at the 2-minute and 5-second mark for anyone who wants to see it. Sean Bolden's in the house. Blaze is in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mrs. She Said is in the house. Welcome. So this used to be what's jealousy. And I used to ask my clients or men's group that I would perform, hey, your cousin Pookie has a right to everything. And so at the 2-minute and 5-second mark, please.
Would be wanting me to come in here.
Well, he's not here. And I got some beer in the fridge.
You have a friend over?
What? No.
Oh,
Then why are there 2 glasses on the counter?
Someone stopped by.
Who?
Julio.
And you let him in my house? You got him a fucking drink?
He came to see you. And I was bored and lonely. And it was water I gave him, not a fucking vodka tonic. Tommy!
Yo, so I got a bunch of fine ass hoes lined up for tomorrow, like
Oh, yeah.
Tommy, what the fuck are you doing? Trying to push up on my girl? Fuck up! What's wrong with you? Motherfucker was in my house while I was gone. I didn't touch your girl. She didn't eat my tight. What the fuck is happening, Tommy?
I don't fucking need you alienating her right fucking hand over some bitch.
Call Holly a bitch again.
Go ahead. Tommy, all I'm saying, man, is you're about to do Julio and do me over some broad you don't trust.
I trust her. You don't.
No, you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in here trying to fucking crack Jay's skull.
Fuck that motherfucker.
All right.
Julio, wipe your nose.
Man, I miss that show.
Yeah. So forever and a day, that used to be what was considered trust issues. You know, I used to ask your cousin Pookie, you and your cousin own everything. Like your cousin come over anytime they have a key maybe or whatever. What's mine is yours and yours is mine, except for my woman. And now your woman are moved in or she spends a lot of nights, and then Pookie comes over. And when you leave, you always say, don't let anyone in the house. Cousin Pookie comes over. Do you let him in? No, I'm asking you, or we can ask the audience. But
Oh, do I let him in?
Yep. Do you let him in? And I've already said to you, you already know my cousin. Like, we're thick and thin and we share everything. We've never done anything freaky towards you. Like, I never said, oh, share my woman. But if I have my last dollar, Pookie gets it. I leave. Hey, don't let nobody in the house. Peace. Pookie. Let's see. Be the fan made says, no, he can wait in his car.
I might, because I'm trying to be realistic and like really put myself in that place. I might call and be like, hey, was Pookie supposed to come over? Like,
right.
Now,
is Pookie standing in your doorway while you're making that call?
He's going to stay outside. Yeah. And I'm going to call him real quick.
All right.
I'm
What if
going to
it's
go
raining
inside.
and stuff? It's cold and rainy.
I'm saying, sorry, I have to look at the chat. Tommy, I'm saying Pookie because Dr. Jacoby said Pookie, but we'll say Charles and Brandon or Chad, whoever.
What's up, Tommy?
Whatever equivalent, I don't care. But you're right. But if it's raining, like BFA said, he can go sit in his car.
Okay, all right.
But
this is there we go.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying again to be realistic. Like, if I know that I'm good and that it's supposedly like this is his, best friend, I would assume that he would never do that to my husband.
Yeah, he came over he didn't, in my scenario, he's not coming over to mess with you. He's coming over really, that's right, he's not even here. But normally, before you were in this situation, I would actually come in and make my own peanut butter and jelly sandwich, kick up my feet, play video games. So you're here. I'm not just coming in, but do you let me in? And so what we call, it wasn't called gaslighting back then, but when I used to offer this in presentations, I would ask, I would say, gentlemen, please be careful for when you do the double move, the double entendre, meaning one minute you say to her, you better not let anyone in. So Beautiful Animated says he had to wait in his car, and now I'm pissed. What the
Mhm.
fuck? I told you that's my dude. Don't ever have my dude waiting in the car. You done lost your fucking mind. He comes before you. Don't ever have him wait. Like, I can't believe you even did that for real. Then if she lets him in, the fuck are you doing? I did not say don't let anybody in the house, but that's your. I said don't let. Are you deaf, blind? What the hell's wrong with you? So
Blind,
that
right.
confusing message. And then, in fact, for the guys who were even abusing their women, abuse. I know you're not to spell it, but I broke it down. Attacking their character and assassinating them, shrinking their world, their family, friends, and I want them to be more and more and more by themselves, so they become fully dependent on me. B, setting them up for betrayal. I set you up for betrayal because after you feel like you betrayed me, guess what that repair comment is? That repair statement is. What do most people say when they feel really, really bad?
I mean it, or I won't do it again.
I will do anything.
Oh.
My bad. What can I do? How can I make it up? I'll do anything. So now I have you in debt to me. So those back in the day when those guys were like pulling this stunt on purpose, I'm gonna head out for a second. I'll be back. Or I'm gonna go do whatever. Then my guy starts talking to my girl, like just general conversation, laughing, got her giggling. See, that was a fight right there. You get someone's girl giggling and stuff. What the fuck? And then now, even though I trust him, but the fact that he got you, and now, damn. And then if you really get deviant, like, well, since you giggling, he got you giggling and stuff, go ahead and put your mouth. Because he's here, you can't do it? So this motherfucker just had you giggling and shit. Y'all probably in here right now.
Right,
Since
right,
you do anything,
right.
prove it. There you
right,
go.
and that puts you in a tough
your hair back
spot.
so you can see. Since you let him see other shit, move your hair back. Or maybe she was braless at the time he came over and she didn't go run in the room and put the bra on. That's on Monday. But then on Wednesday, what you done put all that shit on? And come on, like he ain't never seen no nipples before. Take that shit away.
Right.
Come on. I mean, they don't have to be out, but don't be putting on no extra stuff. Let them bad boys. And in a proud way, you know, it's like a Kanye West with his girl. I forgot Yee. And his girl, I forgot the new one, but she's in see-through stuff at the airport and all that, and he's proud. That's my woman. Like, what? I have consent. And other people are like, oh my gosh, I would never. Or a guy who meets a girl at the club or at Walmart, because on Friday barbershop, we were talking about this a long time ago. At Walmart, she has on a G-string at the Walmart, and everyone's like, damn, ooh. But which one of the men are actually going over? Oh, sister, you know, you don't have to. But then when he starts dating her, she can't dress like that. Oh fuck no, she needs protection. You're her man, and now she needs protection. She didn't need it when she was single. When she was single at the club and shit was all out, and god damn, and showed them cheesy cakes and all that. I mean, she thought she was sexy, you know, stomach looked like a baked potato and ass cheeks had that cottage cheese, but it was sexy. And now that we're together, you need protection. Don't dress like that. My whole point was all that was part of that whole jealousy conspiracy thing, that dual talk, setting her up, not setting her up, but it was all out of that jealousy, insecurity, power, control, and dominance.
Yeah, you can't win
now. Yeah, you can't win. The world has changed now. I want to chop it up with the group. Those in the chat. Blaze says, men are territorial, and you're asking for trouble if you cross the line. Okay.
But you're saying the world has changed. Could we even say, for example, men being territorial, like now, and I don't want to pull this in a direction that you're not necessarily wanting to go, or you're not going. Yep. That wasn't what you were thinking. But men being territorial, is that almost something now in today's world that can't be a thing? It could be seen as a
if your relationship has that power dynamic. So that's another shift. A man is misogynistic. A man is bad. A man is horrible. A man is, but it works in the favor when he's opening the door. When he opened the door for your mom, you loved it. When the grandpa opened the door for grandma, back then in the day, he was being a gentleman. When he was put his coat over a puddle of water and got his shit all wet, oh boo, oh yeah. But now the world has shifted. I don't need you. What you think I can't, like water's gonna hurt me? I was being kind, but yet taking my money, that's okay. Right. So if I'll be willing to buy your supplies, now I don't need you to buy me nothing. You can give me the cash. Let me give you my cash app. Oh, I can give you cash, but I can't.
Right.
So yeah, you can be territorial. I mean, you can have those things if that's what your relationship calls for. Those power exchange relationships. I'm the, or you're the, and I'm the, or some do it by percentages, 24/7. I don't think anyone ever really has a. I've never known anyone have a true 24/7 power dynamic change, but they call it that. So in the bedroom it's daddy and whatever, and out of the bedroom is daddy. In front of your mama, you call me daddy. In front of your coworkers, you call me daddy. And but some set limits. My job stuff, I can't get down like that. But daddy, any other time. Okay. In front of your friends, you can do it, but not in front of out of respect to mom and dad. So some people have some variables in how they do that. But jealousy. What used to be, we could watch the award show together, but they become more and more sexy on the award show, almost naked. You can see cheeks and all this stuff. So if the guy is sitting there and he's like, "Damn, ooh, don't be
right,"
so he can't, he just has to watch.
Right. And she's watching, or whoever is like, "You better not,
right,
make a face or anything."
Correct. And it goes both ways. I mean, there's someone who, who's the quarterback used to play for the Packers. The quarterback, he does like Rustler Jean now commercials and whatever. And, some
Brett
women get
Favre, or
Brett Favre. And some dudes are mad. Don't be looking at his flat ass. And you better not be looking at the Rush jeans and Wrangler jeans. And, people get upset. But again, the rules, or there's so many different nuances now that equals cheating that wasn't there before. So ladies and gentlemen and others, what is cheating? What is cheating to you? Work husband. Coach, I'm not asking you per se, but as a co-host, I watch some of these shows now where the co-hosts, they just talk crazy to each other. Oh, you're gonna get fucked tonight. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he didn't even come home, and just kind of that banter. But then someone's like, oh, he shouldn't be talking to you like that, and or vice versa. Why is she talking to? She's just trying to fuck. Y'all just trying to fuck. Whoa, come on now. First of all, we're on the internet thing. Didn't you? When you sometimes you talking about y'all should do a live show, you just setting it up. Wow. Or you video fucked her. You telehealth fucked her, whatever you want to call it. Do this thing, right?
Telehealth.
Man, right? So
right. You're right though. I see that stuff.
And Coach, I'm gonna be quiet. I'll let you cook here too.
No, I love this. It's funny because everyone in the chat, everyone who catches this, they can see this not only in their real life. I mean, this is real life, but they can see this in the virtual world, especially on all these panels. You hear people talk about this. Half the time, I think they're just talking, like they're just saying it. But you see it in your physical world, also in your relationships or in other people's relationships. This is just so prevalent. So this is good.
So what happens when you're friends? Coach, you and I are really, really good friends. I maybe know this is hypothetical. So if you guys listening, hypothetical. But you and I have had some hypothetically, you and I have had some private conversations, some not even private, some sincere, like, can I just ask you a question? What are your thoughts? We have some real authentic conversations, which involve a few complaints about your husband.
Okay.
But I keep it private, as in, I don't want to, that's not, and you weren't telling me, like, guess what? It was, may I tell you something? It does, you checked all the balances, or you checked all the marks. It's about my husband. Is that okay? I'm not really bitching about him, but it involved, yeah, go ahead.
Right.
So then some people say you violated the relationship by sharing about your husband, and it will fall into the cheating category because we formed a connection. We formed a line of trust that only belongs between you and your husband.
Right.
So what do people think about that? That the communication, and again, I can go as far as saying secrets, but I can go as loose as, yeah, I shared a couple of points, but my main point was X, Y, and Z. Well, you shouldn't have shared jack bleepity bleep at all, and now I feel violated. I think sometimes people
I
don't really take into account how powerful jealousy is and what it can make a person do.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw I mean, I don't know if you caught, I know Black Man Unfiltered was on This Might Be Risky show. Did you catch any of that earlier? It was
This might
actually
be risky. No.
that very it was very relevant, and I thought it was funny. I'm like, wow, Dr. Nakumbe couldn't have planned this any better because of the show.
Oh
You
yeah.
have
No.
to watch the replay. But they were talking about how, could your wife go and talk to, her friend about this situation with, you. So if you're talking to the husband, can she talk about financial issues? What if, this, and like, and also too, like what, and I'm thinking of your scenario. What if I'm asking this hypothetical guy about my husband because he's another man? So I'm like,
Mhm.
and I'm coming in the most sincerest form, not trying to
Pause.
bash him, but trying to find understanding. I think
Mhm.
some people would have a problem with that too. Like, why are you talking about your
Yes.
husband to someone else?
Right. Whatever he understands, I can understand. Give me a chance to understand it. I can understand it, overstand it, bystand it, quadruple stand it. Give me a chance. Don't be talking to no other dude, because then he's gonna be judging me and looking at me funny. And then for some reason,
Right.
because you reached that level of trust with that other man, you must be fucking it.
But you know what though? I wouldn't go as far as saying that's cheating. I would
Mhm.
not say that. But if I have to be honest, I wouldn't do that. I don't think anyway. I can't even think of that scenario occurring. But if my husband did that and talked to a girl, I would probably be like, I wouldn't be jealous, or I'd more so be like, we're probably not the
Are you sure?
same.
I don't know. Are you sure?
I'd
Are
be like,
you
I wouldn't be
sure?
jealous, but I'd be like, these girls are crazy out here.
Yeah.
Don't try to get insight from them. But then again, see, I'm always finding the nuances, like within my own beliefs. Like, but Katie,
Right.
are you kind of crazy? Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
can be. So, I try to find understanding in every situation. But I think cheating, can I give you my definition of cheating?
Please do.
See, now I'm already like second guessing it. For sure, physical interactions. Now, see, but a hug at work, not like
Yeah.
not a hug like it's just Monday, but like if it's a Christmas party, no, Christmas parties have a bad connotation too. Shit. Let's say you see her and her husband out, maybe. I don't try to make problems where there are none.
Well, yeah, you
So
wouldn't be making the problem. It'd be the guy. We're two firefighters, and we just saved some lives, and we got back. And the fact that we saved some lives and the intensity behind it, like, damn, we did it. Come here, bring it in. And so to bring it in, but it's a strong embrace. And it
wait.
was really because we connected. We're two police
Yeah.
officers.
Yeah.
We
So
almost
wait,
got
two.
injured on the job.
No.
And the fact that, maybe you're shorter in stature or smaller in frame, and you got a little, you whoop some ass if you need to, but I'm extra alert, and I'm always dropping hints like, no, I can't handle somebody fucking with me. I can't let nobody. And it's always usually because, you're my partner and I want to make sure, and you got to go home to your guy. But I'm constantly, and I'm sincere. Like, no, I can't let. But see, that's actually dropping some hints of ownership. I can't let, I won't let,
Ooh.
right? I won't let. But if we work this job together, who am I to control that or stop it? I won't let. Now, Sean Bowman says probably more for the romantic, but I'm assuming if you have an understanding of in the agreement, stand by it. So we could actually be co-workers, two officers, and you understand where that comes from. We both understand the significance of those deep, meaningful words.
Right.
And we stand by that, but we both have enough ego strength. We both have enough integrity. I have enough integrity for for you and respect for you and for your husband. That's why I won't go there. That's why I won't go there. I have respect for you and integrity for your husband. Now, would I ever be aroused by you? Firefighters probably change in front of each other or whatever. If they have the same locker rooms, I'm for sure, maybe in the bra at least. So would I ever be aroused? Now, if I'm thinking work stuff, probably not. If I'm thinking, you know,
Right.
whatever I'm aroused by, you might, and once I'm like, damn, your dude's lucky. Don't even go.
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
is a
saying, man. I'm just
freaking
saying.
problem.
Right.
Yeah.
But then what if you have the type of woman who actually every once in a while likes to hear that because maybe her husband's not saying it? And
That's
every blue
still a
moon is
problem,
just,
I think.
is it still a problem? If it's like, damn, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
think so.
And then what if he was the dominant type that was like, you can get mad if you want to. You know, you're a fine ass bitch. I don't care what you say. What? Don't, you're a fine ass bitch. Now get mad if you want and all that, but look at me seriously. Don't smile or nothing. Coach, don't smile. I'm gonna count to 3. If you smile, then you know my words meant something.
Right.
Look, I didn't even count yet. Hold on.
I'm just all right. Now I'm
I
ready.
didn't even
I'm
count
ready.
yet.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So
Okay.
I'm this firefighter with you or whatever. We're lawyers. Woo, we had a tough case. High five. And we maybe even drink a little, no alcohol. It's just some water. And I'm like, damn. And I'm thinking about the victory and I'm looking over at you like, fuck. I know you don't like to hear this shit, but you're fine as fuck. And you're like, whoa, come on now, you know what? You know that shit too. You know, every single dude that walks past you, you know the fucking women that walk past you, you know that shit. That's why you're a little snobby little thing. Now I'm talking crazy to you. And then I land with this. All right, I'll stop. But you trying to tell me you don't know you're fine? Coach, I'm gonna count to 3. If I count to 3 and you smile, you know you're fine as fuck. Ready? 1. There you go. Focus.
I know.
Y'all see it?
No.
Y'all see it? Y'all see it?
Because I know that I'm not smiling because it's just because I know the chat, you know, everyone's watching me. I'm trying to be like
you're trying to play it. Oh, you're trying to do the acting. You're acting. Okay, cool. All right.
See, I'm trying to be approachable, like whatever. No, I'm ready. Like, let's go.
Right.
Do it.
But but that was just my skit. That was just my skit to say it could be it could be fun like that, but it doesn't go anywhere. But the allowance, like we felt safe. We knew what the boundaries were. We knew what the boundaries were to the point where we felt comfortable, but my woman and your man might not think the same. And so how do you deal with that? How do you deal with when you feel confident? I didn't fuck her. What are you talking about? And especially if I could have, I feel double insulted because I could have and I didn't.
Why do you feel insulted by that?
He's violating. Girl, you rocking the flannel today? Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Tommy Bean. It's good to see you. Thank you for using me out of me tonight.
But check it out. But that's some of the psychological. That's some of the psychobabble too. I know she's a smiler, but I go for some bold stuff. So let's take it off Coach K. But I'm saying to some girly, like, I know she's a smiler, and I'm like, be honest, you want to suck this dick, don't you? If you smile, now remember, I already know she's a smiler.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying someone was smiling, like, okay, I got to do it. But that whole kind of psychological thing over you being a smiler, but then when you talk to your husband, nah, the motherfuckers be having you giggling and shit. I watch your fucking show. I see Fatty and those guys coming up to me, it's Coach K, and you're just like, hi, you guys. The fuck?
Right,
dude, I'm a smiler. No, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. But then 2 days later, when we're at my family's or when we're at so-and-so, yeah, that's my girl. She's so cute. She's always smiling. Yeah.
Right. So, that's so tough. That's so true, though.
A few more scenarios. We'll open up the chats too to have this debate, like if or people or opinion. So it doesn't have to be a debate, but bring up, because I'm going to challenge. Not only is it, I'm going to question. I won't challenge. I want to question: is that really true jealousy? Is that about
challenge is fine? Let's use challenge. I like that.
You like that? Yeah. Is that person's inadequacy? Is that their fear of loss, feeling like someone else might do better, might say better, might look better? Is it inadequacy, like, well, I'm used to losing? I say everyone in the world is a cheater, Coach. That's my definition. Everyone in the world is a cheater. I don't know a single person that doesn't cheat.
What is cheating? Like, what are the actions, I guess, or like, what are examples?
That's the question.
Oh,
see, I'm glad you caught it, because I said it so sincerely. I think everyone's a cheater. Pause. Wait for it. Well, what is that? Because if we have agreements, if we're swingers, is that cheating?
No.
If we're polyamorous, is that cheating? If we're
Not unless
whatever-
it's
what-
if it's with that person, no, then it's not, obviously.
right.
But if
I
it's
say per the
outside,
agreement.
right?
Yeah. If it's outside
That's
the
okay.
agreement. Now, here's why I say it's natural to if cheating means more than one, because I know we have some folks talk about marriage, and marriage is only for one. So if you're going outside of that one, I say, damn, I think we've been conditioned all our lives to have more than one. Now, I may have said this before. We're
I've heard that.
born, if it's traditional family, traditional, to two parents.
Mm-hmm.
So right out the bat, I'm told, love your mama, love your papa. That's a different type of love. It's a different type of love. It may be, but your best friend in the world versus your man or your woman, what's the difference? My best friend I could tell secrets to. My best friend, we could have sleepovers and not do nothing freaky like go and crash over there. My best friend can use my car. My best friend can have some of my money. My best friend. The only difference is we don't have sex.
Because you could say intimacy, but some intimacy could also be emotional and like that connection.
Yes,
but it's not like
actually,
sexual intimacy.
1,000,000,000%. That's what intimacy is. Other than sex, it is what your friends pour into you or what you pour into your friends. That's intimacy. Other than sex, what's the difference between your bestie, even some family members? You know how you have your bestie sister, your bestie brother, your bestie cousin.
Yeah.
So that being said, traditional home born into two parents. So you can even be modern home, mama, papa, they, whatever you have, but it's two. Still two.
Yeah.
Wait. Grandparents on one side, that's two more.
Right.
Grandparents on the other side. Again, if they're alive, I'm going off for just some basic. It's not everyone, but
yeah.
That's 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6. That's 6 people that you're being taught to love. Oh, say hi to I love you. I love you. I love you.
You know, I did that to my nephew the other day, and I thought of you, and I was like,
yes.
Damn it, he's learning love right now.
Yes, that's what. And then we end up saying it back one day. I love you too. That's how we learn love. Now there will be people out there that swear up and down that they created love and this is the definition of love. That might be the case. But speaking of conditions, what was the condition to have that person form their definition of love and their definition of a violation to their definition of love? So parents, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the kid, I love you too. And now the 3-year-old is going to bed. Hey, for real? I don't get no love?
All right.
Now, what 3-year-old you know was going to bed? Oh, damn. Almost forgot to tell you I love you.
Right.
That's for the parent. That's for the weak parent or the parent that's setting a condition, dropping them off at school. All right, have a good day.
Right.
That's the parent dropping them off at the mall. Yeah, I got a few dollars. Oh, hold on, little shorty. Now you're gonna be taking my money and shit. I don't get no love. Your friends and shit, they'll get the money from there. Come on, Dad. You know I love you. Well, say that shit first. That's a condition.
Yeah, it is.
You're grown in a relationship. Well, you didn't tell me you love me first. Well, I do love you, but you didn't say it to me. And there's a goddamn contest because you're groomed. Who says it first? Or a gift. I got you this. Oh, why'd you get that for me? Because I love you. Huh? I love you. So, all right. So you have, we'll get that comment in a second. So you have two parents that you're born into. How many pair of shoes do you have, Coach K?
I'm not your typical.
How many
chick,
favorite
but
pair of shoes do you have?
I like 3.
All right. Do you have a pair for the house and a pair for the streets? Do you have a pair of boots for the snow? Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you have one set that might meet a different need of yours. scratch your tickle toes a little differently, huh? Okay.
Yes.
How
love
many
them
credit cards do
differently.
you have? How many credit? You don't say out loud the truth, but you have more than one credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have more than one stream of income. I'm not talking about OnlyFans. I mean, do you have more than one stream of income coming in?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. My point is we are groomed to always have everything more than one. So everything is more than one. Buy one pizza, get the other one free. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th one half off so you can drive without wobbling. I mean, come on, everything, it's a buy one, get the other one. Cell phone companies, you can, I mean, damn phones you need. Buy one and get the other one. So we are conditioned to have certain needs met by different. I have an iPhone because it do the thing and the thing and the thing. I got a Samsung because it does the so and so and so and so. So we are conditioned, and now we're just going to get one wife, and she's going to do it all. But yet, all growing up, I have my friends. I gotta have my friends. But only my friends. But now all that goes into your one husband.
I think that. Well, can I respond to it, or are you still going?
Please do. This is not written in stone. This
no, I agree. No, yeah. I agree that doesn't make sense. And I think that is where people go wrong. And I can only. I hate when people say this, but I'm gonna say it. I can only speak for women because I know myself and what I've been like in relationships. But to expect this person to satisfy all your connection, all your intimacy, all your needs is impossible, and it's not going to work. And also too, like, you know, because my twin sister is my best friend. The things that we talk about, the things we laugh about, Tommy's funny. But the things that we talk about, like that scratches an itch that like me and my husband, like it's just not the same, you know?
Right.
So it's like, why are we trying to check every box with this one person? It's setting you up for failure, and it just doesn't work. That's a great way that I like what you said.
People start feeling trapped. And then the people who make all these rules about what they would never do and never do and never do. I don't know. I think I told you this before. Like the person who says, "Oh, you got me fucked up. I'll never be with more than one dude. Never be with more than one dude." And I'm not talking about a train. I mean, like never more than one dude in my relationship. Never. You know, because y'all are all fucked up anyway. You know how many times I've been cheated on? No. Tell me about that. Man, this one dude, he cheated. How long was he cheating? The whole goddamn time. How long was y'all together? 2 years. His rotten ass cheated on you for 2 years. Yep. And when did you find out? Just a few months ago. That's why I dropped him. You dropped him like a hot potato because you found out that 2 months ago that he was cheating on you for 2 years. What was the relationship like for the 2 years? Well, shit, we were having a good time. I didn't even know. What about the times he came home with the juice still on him? It was like, there you go, put that in your mouth. And you didn't, and I'm sorry, I'm just saying, but she didn't even know. You know, just thought he maybe came from the gym. But here's the deal. The entire time, for 2 years, there was more than one man in your relationship. So what are you talking about? You will never. When you did. I just didn't know about him. Okay, whatever the reason is, you did 2 years with 2 men in the relationship.
But she didn't know, though.
She didn't know. But you know how many things we don't know? You know how many times people have left pizza out for hours and little spider eggs and shit are on the pizza? They didn't even know. I know.
Absolutely not.
I mean, flies and don't add roaches and shit.
No, you're right, though. Especially when you sleep.
Yes, and drinks, a drink or something left open and drink it in the morning and dust and shit. Yeah, come on. Starbucks, Caribou, all them places that had the donuts and sandwiches and shit sitting out all day, and they just give it to you right fresh from the cabinet. Come on. I'm just putting in the place. What's that? The Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, yeah.
Coming all in the things.
No, thank you.
Landing on the donuts, and they just grab it. They grab it with the thong. They grab it with the tongue thing. Like the flies and shit them been on it. Grab it with the tongue, put it in the bag. I was like, well, she might as well use you might as well just lick your finger and grab my shit. And all of a sudden, so my point is, even though she didn't know, there's a lot of shit we didn't know, but then all of a sudden we have the knowledge, and all of a sudden it becomes a problem. I'm not advocating more than one. Tommy beef that works towards your favor, use it, but I'm not advocating more than one. What I'm saying is the norm of what you develop together, what you create together. How many people cheated on God? Quit playing. Come on. For the religious. How many people have cheated on God? God made one rule, one book.
Told you not to do it. But
now, I'm not religious, so if I say this and it pushes buttons, I'm not religious, so I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm not religious, but I am going to say it. For those who, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't catch it, Coach. The
I
Father,
know. Right.
The next one, Son,
mm-hmm.
Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm. More than one.
Would you let people, if you talk about cheating means more than one of them ghosts got to go. But again, that's more religious stuff, but I'm just saying, if we talk about it, means more than one. Don't go outside of the one. Don't go outside of the one. Coach, you're my girl, and we're actually hustling. We're actually hustling. This dude at my job and this dude at my job, shit, he did what? He did what? Well, call him. Tell him you're not doing well right now. Give him your cash app. So in the hustle, that's okay. You know, not you, but listen, my girl, put your titties up there. Let him see them big motherfucking
right.
titties. Yeah, you collect that money. There you go, work it. All that's fun and okay. But what happened to the rule of what cheating is? Again, I'm just giving some wild.
No, that's
people in the chat is gonna be like, no, it's not like that. It's wrong. You're just making shit up. If we never heard like that before, the world doesn't operate that way. We're squeaky clean. We use Lysol and bleach on our asshole. I get it. But the reality is, these are true events. These are things that happen in the world. Maybe to not everyone, but I am going to go with my, we are groomed to more than one parent. Even the mamas who say your daddy ain't shit, ain't going to be shit. That kid is still seeking and searching for a papa in their life, a father figure in their life. They're seeking to love. They will say, when they get older, I always was looking for a father to love me. Well, you had your mama, you had the one. No, we are groomed and taught to have more than one. When is it cheating? When is it cheating? Let's open the lines up.
Yeah. Isn't that also, though, a part of, too, maybe this goes to your point, just being humans and like being in tribes? Because like you couldn't, and I know this could be deemed as a talking point, but I guess in the primitive, ancestors, whatever, they had to survive in groups, because if you're by yourself, you're SOL. So
and also just people in the back, if you do it by yourself,
you're shit out of luck.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the way the world is going, Coach K. They are pushing so much individualism, no family, no husbands, no wives, no marriage, no kids, no individualism, by ourselves. Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off. I heard that part about that's such an important point. I can't even get a goddamn burger without the cooker back there, putting the burgers up on the grill thing with on sesame seed bun with ketchup and anyway. But I can't even get that by myself.
Right. And that goes to also, even if you don't believe in God, but even just a lack of religion or anything larger than you, because you think it's all you and you can do it all. But if you kind of look around, you really can't. And I think with technology and also this individuality, I think that is, and this is another topic, but this has contributed to a lot of depression and just really mental illness, and just societal decay.
There's mental illness. Sean Bowen has said that's the male manipulative skills being displayed right there. That is true. The example that I gave was a lot of the male manipulation. Women, I mean, it goes both ways. Actually, research will say, Coach K,
Yeah.
unmarried folks. Wait. Let me get it right. Dang it. I'll say it and then I have to go back and look again. Unmarried folks, more females cheat. Married folks, 50-50. Or non-committed relationships, females are okay having sex with different people more than the males. And then in married or committed relationships is about 50-50. They cheat around the same amount. Not every person cheats. I just mean the within marriages, it's about a 50-50 ratio of who cheats.
What do you and I asked CBN to drop the link for people that want to join our conversation. So what do you take from that, Dr. Nakumbe?
Oh, well, this is why I tell people, like, even some of these shows I've been participating in about sexless marriage, a sexless marriage.
Yeah.
We have to understand your eyes. So what, your animals, they attract each other with different sounds and noises. The monkey beat his chest, and it'd be 30 monkeys and only one female monkey, and her hole, like, watch the history thing. You'll see her hole just kind of swell open and stuff. Like if you blow on somebody, anyway, the point is, boom, and then these dudes take off. Birds make, not all birds, there are monogamous birds, but the point is, the attraction is through the eyes. Our eyes are our sensory. So if two people were put on an island, never taught anything about sex, never saw a magazine, never saw a video, nothing. Before they kick the bucket, they will know they will do it, and they would know kind of how something goes in that hole. I might have hit you in the head or the eye, but eventually you get the right spot, and they know how to do it. That being said, because our sensory doesn't say, oh, Coach K only.
Right.
New relationship energy. I can love you till my drawers fall off. Well, of course, I can love you to whatever and back. But new relationship energy, is just something refreshing about that. And then the mental health part, if I deal with inadequacies.
Yeah.
And I think you heard me tell this story before. My girlfriend and I, we're making love at 7 p.m. We get done at 7:03 p.m. Actually, no, that's a different story. That's the going to the restaurant. Yeah, going to the restaurant. No, that's a different story. That's the going to the computer room. My girlfriend and I make love at 2 a.m, and then we end at 2:03. We get done. I want a sandwich. She wants a cigarette. Boom. We leave and go to Denny's or whatever your late night thing is. We go there, and the server is like, "What's up?" Now, I am attracted to fragile women, and she is attracted to strong men who also understand trauma because they've been traumatized. So both of us have dealt with neglect, abandonment, betrayal in our lives. We get to the restaurant. The server says, sit down, no pen, no paper, no nothing. She's like, what do you guys want? My first thought is the server is going to fail. You're going to take our orders. You're not going to write this stuff down. You're not going to write shit down. You go ahead, babe. My babe does a regular order. I want da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Just give me so-and-so, so-and-so. I am not intentionally doing it, but it sure worked in my favor that I was like, I want a triple burger, cut diagonals with tomatoes, some jalapenos with no seeds, and put a little toothpick in it, please. Cut in half, mustard on one, mayo on the other.
Oh,
you got all that? So I'm already expecting, subconsciously, I'm expecting her to fail. Now, my boo can make this sandwich with her eyes closed. She just could, but by default. So when the server comes back and she stays there, check it out. God damn. And all of a sudden, my heart is,
Right.
Now, my boo is right here, and I love her to death. But the fact that this person heard me, if she said, oh, I wasn't leaving that kitchen until they made it right, you honored me. Served, honor, heard, protected, blah, 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 blah. All these words that hit my heart. Again, my boo's right here, love her to pieces. But now I have this perceived feeling of like, wow, because we live in a sexual society, then of course I gotta look at her cheeks and all that to see what her value is, right? So then boom. And then now all of a sudden, every time she comes, I'm making eye contact. Now, jealousy. You either have a girlfriend who's now feeling intimidated, bothered, or you have one of them girlfriends talking about, damn, she is fine. You gonna get a number or should I get a number?
Right.
Or one of those girls who like, wow, she is good. Go on, laugh, play. I mean, like, talk with her. She's not coming home with us, but go ahead. Or you are strong enough to be like, damn, babe, you hear that shit she said? Oh, I'm not gonna lie. No, good. And then your girl reach over, she make you hard. Let me see. Oh, whoa, baby, whoa, come on. You want me to do it right here?
Right.
The server comes back. Oh, anyway, I'm being silly,
Right.
but
Right.
you have those different degrees of security in your relationship. But for some people, cheating wasn't really about just getting the cheeks. It was the buildup of emotions. The husband wives, I mean, the one who helped me fix my tie at the job.
Right.
The one who says, oh, your wife's birthday and the kid's birthday, and oh, good looking. I'm not gonna lie, my life's a piece of shit, but with you in it, and I don't have to have an argument at home. We better not ever argue because then you might cheat. No, we gotta be a wonderful relationship at home. But the day I feel powerful because of something that you did, not always. I'm not talking about just a weak man. I'm talking about caught up in this emotion. And so hopefully he's strong enough, but hopefully he has good enough communication. Babe, I'm not gonna lie. Can I show you some pictures of my secretary or my coworker or my whatever? Can I look at that? Hey, come on now, quit playing. Damn, you like her? Tell me what you like about her. She's funny. She fucking fixed my tie. I'm not gonna lie. Remember that one day, the holiday? I know. I knew you didn't remember no shit like that. She did it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. She did it. But that collaboration, like, most likely he wants to turn now to be with her. Like, thank you for understanding. Thank you for listening.
Right.
And then maybe the helper has standards, aka or shout out to Mr. and Mrs. She said they have standards to where I'm glad I help you feel all warm and giggly inside, but I have integrity and standards that I live by, and I'm not going to engage. I won't let you go there. You put come here. Whoa. Come on now. Come on, stop. That's not what we're fuck. Ooh, one of these days, stop.
Right.
Mr. He says in the house, Dragonfly Jones, cousins in the house. Thank you for being here. I think I said the Mrs. earlier. Mrs. She said it was here or is here. Well, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. We are talking tonight about trust, but how that's changed. Certain behaviors, how the definitions of those changed, all wrapped up in this thing called cheating. Are we cheating, or am I the dummy? Am I just a stupid one, or is that cheating? Is that cheating? So you have the gaslighting, you have those who are insecure, or you have those who made these new rules. As long as I don't put it all the way in, I just put the head in, I wasn't cheating. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
But
We're
Coach,
having an issue.
it's more than just the two things I've learned in life and been groomed to. If I have the capability to cheat my taxes, if you say you can have a couple of M&Ms and I grab a handful,
yeah.
if I take advantage of more than one, if Amazon mailed out some stuff, I ordered a package, and for somehow I got an extra in the deal and I didn't return it, I kept it like it was owed to me. Like, oh shit, yeah, ooh. So I actually have a cheating mentality.
Yeah.
So when people say they don't cheat, they may not engage in certain behaviors that are sexual, but do you have a cheating mentality? I had one content provider one time tell me out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, the conversation was about blue skies, and they were like, you know, speaking of blue skies, these YouTube, Facebook people contact me and talking about they can help me grow my. I would never. When the hell, where'd that come from? We were talking about blue skies. I don't know if you know people like that, Coach, where they just come out because they telling a lie. They know good. I mean, just out of nowhere, the so, because they know they have the potential to take advantage of systems that work for them.
Yes.
And so some people, I don't want to say something when I just catch it out of the blue. Someone just, you know, I don't even like. Why was it even necessary? Sometimes that's their own guilt. That's their own little whatever you call it. Points. How many basketball teams will be playing and the person accidentally gave them a couple extra points? How many will actually have the integrity to say, whoa, gotta spin that back. You got us about 6 points. You got us about 6 points up. That's a form of cheating. The integrity. Where's the integrity? No, the thing, and people will argue with you because, again, times have changed to make it where their way is correct. But
right.
Who's correct? Who's correct?
Just a heads up, you're delayed again.
Oh man, really? I'm messing it up. Every time I try and cook. Every time I try and cook, Coach.
I know.
Good shit, and then all of a sudden,
I know.
Thank you. Whoever said it, thank you.
Yeah, Dragon by Jones' cousin noticed, and then I noticed because I'm like, wait. Because if I want to respond, I'm like, wait, I still hear his voice. But with the integrity, do you think that because that's that's considered what a virtue or a value maybe, or I don't know what you would consider that, but
standard, moral.
Yeah, standard, equality. Okay, but do you think that people perhaps don't maybe have integrity in these areas because they don't have a standard? So like if they don't have the moral standard of for example, you do what's like honesty. So they can't have integrity if there is no like guideline for being honest in the first place, or for showing up on time, like being dependable or being punctual. Like if that doesn't matter, then where, what do you have integrity for or in?
Right.
With?
Well, I think okay. So that's where I think things get a little muddy. Now we're dipping into two different things.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, so the kid who let's say I'm working as a social worker, and the kid tells me they were going to get picked up from soccer at 3 p.m. That's the goal, to get picked up. But a couple of times, no one showed up at 3 p.m. They saw other kids get picked up at 3 p.m., but they did not.
Okay.
So what's developing in their brain subconsciously, one is a panic and a fear of being abandoned or left behind. Not an instant, oh no, I'm abandoned, but a subconscious level or degree of abandonment and left behind. I don't know if you ever seen the kid where they got left, or the parent was late and the kid was all shook up about it. Why'd you said, hey, who are you talking to? But you said, calm down. And now you lucky I gave you a ride at all. The parent didn't realize what was going on was a level of panic and fear for the kid and what they call traumatized, believing they would get left behind, abandoned, and neglected. Now, it used to be they would run out there, 2:55. A few times no one showed up on time. They get there at 2:57. And then, no, I'm not hiding it. I'm trying to slow down the stream. I mean, I'm trying to slow down the mega wave or whatever you call it. Close my cam just so it can use less. I have the YouTube open on one channel. I got my little notes open on the thing, and then I have the back stream open. I shouldn't even be explaining, but I am just so people know. And
I wonder why he's doing that.
Yeah, and I don't take it as Dragonfly was saying anything bad, but it was a good point. Like, oh yeah, my camera is closed. Normally I leave it open, but I'm trying to reduce the bandwidth, whatever they call it. So then, yes. So the kid used to run out of 256, 257, 258, 305. Because there's no guarantee that you were going to be there at 3 because you've been showing up at 3:30. That goes into their adult life unknowingly, and the meeting starts at 8 a.m. and they show up at 8:10, and that's their on time. They get to the job starts at 8. They have to first stop at McDonald's or a coffee house or whatever, and they show up to work 8:15 with the food. Well, yeah, I had to get my and they figured the food was the priority, not the job. But so where they have poor morals, values, integrity. The integrity is shot. I agree. The behavior, the audacity, the rudeness, all that is there. And I'm not making everything about trauma, but I was saying, well, Coach,
right, there might be a reason.
Point, right? The root of procrastination in some of these behaviors that are considered to be morals, values, so on and so on, there might even be a cultural component. Native Americans or the indigenous people, they don't go by the white man clock. They go by the sun. So what might be 8 o'clock for us, they go by a different time. So they're known for never being on time. But for them, it's the time that they say is the time.
Now, let's say.
Oh,
okay. Sorry. I was going to be sleeping. Like, well, I can't see your face. No, I'm just kidding. I obviously never want to cut you off. No, I was kidding. But let's say someone is Native American or whatever they are, and their culture is known to go by the sun. But what if this person that is we're not calling them a liar, but let's say they've still been raised suburbs, whatever. They just don't respect time, but they want to say it's because they go by the sun. Where do you draw the line? You know what I mean? Like, where do we find understanding, but also call someone, just call it for what it is?
I love that. I'm going to give a shout out to Ricky Williams, Mr. He Said, Trey. As much as sometimes we battle here with Trey, not Trey 2, Trey 1. There are times when people are like calling Cap, like, stop. I think we all do it in our own way. So I don't want to just say those guys, but I've actually heard them. I've actually heard where they're like, stop. Why are we saying that? There's one part of it that's entertainment. The other part of it is allowances. And people see that as permission. If you don't call people out on some of these things that they're changing, a man is what now? And a man can he can do how's that work? And you just kind of get sucked up into it and you don't hold people accountable to this.
Right.
Again, each age group or generation or somebody can learn a new way. Science is evolving. I get it. But when it comes to certain things that or you have a strong belief or the majority agrees, blah, 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 how do we hold people accountable to that? And how far do we let it go before we say, stop? What are you doing? I've not heard it that way before. Can you give me a little bit more information? Where are the stats on that? Interesting. I might have to look that up. Right. But when we just bobblehead and just like, oh, yeah, the person telling that stuff sees it as a permission giver. Because even in the relationships, no, bitch, when I say, and if you do this, that's cheating. Now, if you want to cheat, I can do that shit too. But when I fuck your girl, don't say, well, no. And then change the game. And then maybe out of fear, codependency, BS, whatever. I don't want to make it sound like she's just, but then out of whatever that is, you don't hold the person accountable because maybe you believe this is the fantasy girl. She's so goddamn fine. I can't let her go. So I just let her do any old thing. Because I don't know if I can ever get a fine one like her again. So then I won't hold her accountable to certain stuff where it's like, huh? Yeah, that's not how it works. But because of fear that I'm going to lose her, or I believe I'm not good enough to get another. So anyway, to answer your question, calling people out. And it doesn't have to be rude either. I was listening to Mandrell. Mandrell started saying something that he really believed in. And then like Mr. He said was like, well, wait a second. That's not, are you sure on da-da-da? But they dialogued about it. They dialogued to where then Mandrell was like, oh, yeah, when you put it that way. So in other words, Mandrell wasn't wrong in what he was saying, but when you put it that way, yeah, that makes sense. And then it's seen other times where it's just been flat out wrong, like, oh, okay, busted. So I think being able to call each other out on it respectfully.
Like iron,
if I'm on the barbershop,
iron.
Yeah. If I'm on the barbershop,
iron sharpens
I know
iron. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Iron sharpens iron. Yes. I'm a blabbermouth right now. Just a second. Yeah.
No, you're not. Go on.
If I'm on the barbershop, I'm in that environment where I know this is in the bar. There's always that one in the barbershop. Hey, you guys, you shouldn't be talking. Get the fuck out of it. I mean, this is the environment where we are doing it. So if you don't want to be here for that, if you can't handle the conversation, relax. Relax, Pookie. We could be all right. So Shalom is all right, man. Relax. So there's still a way to introduce it and then have people say, no, we're just talking crazy, or, oh, you got a good point. But you have to be aware that just because the people are talking it doesn't mean, I'm not the authority. I'm not the police, the language police, the conversation police, the correction police. So be mindful of the environment, the people having the conversation. And when you hear that they're talking what they call their truths or some new truth, and you have some pushback about it, be at least courageous, willing, enough integrity to say, well, we can agree to disagree, but this is how it's always been.
That is where it gets tricky.
Does that make sense?
No, that was great. Especially in college campuses too. And I know people have been talking about this for a long time, but I think they said like since 2014, it's been getting like this. There's been a lot of people in academia that have, made organizations or have dedicated their work or left tenured positions to talk about these. And I don't want to take it away from the topic, but just talking about being okay with having something be challenged. And that's something that I enjoy, but not everyone, they can get to this point maybe, but I don't know if it's because I had to let go of because I always wanted to be right, but I wanted to know why I believed what I believe. Like even this conversation about cheating, like coming in, I'm like, I'm not a cheater. Mm-hmm. But when you put it like that, that is such a fascinating way to look at it. And it really makes me curious. So it's like just being willing to know why you have the positions that you do and also be questioned. Questions really help you refine those things.
Yes.
And that, people say we don't want an echo chamber. Yeah, for sure. But that's because it's just a circle. Like it's just going around and around saying the same shit. And also too, I will say, and then I'm blabbing, but you take it away. It irritates the crap out of me when people ask a question and then people want to ask different questions, not to gain more understanding or to offer, maybe lead them to a different perspective, which I still don't think is necessary leading. But trying to twist questions to get an answer that you want them to, answer in that way. You know what I mean?
Manipulating.
Yes, exactly. Well, we're talking about earlier, but yeah. Shout out to Little Podcast. He says something going on with his internet, and I think I know why. I'm not sure, but
mine or his?
If he's being facetious or if he's being legit. If you have any tips, let us know. But
I closed my other window, so I can't even see the chats now. But no, I like what you're saying about manipulation, and some people do it on purpose. Some people don't even realize they're doing it. Like that's been their craft. That's how they get their needs met. So they've never done it intentionally to hurt, but they've done it intentionally to survive.
Mm-hmm.
A hustler is, we can say bad things about them, but they do it to survive. It was one of these shows that had a debate. I was listening in. Is the Sports Illustrated model
Mm-hmm.
doing prostitution any more than the OnlyFans
Oh.
doing prostitution. Because if it goes by their body or what they're showing or selling the image of sex or the idea of sex, the Sports Illustrated, I think the argument was they're professionals doing it for a job or something like that. I think Hot Sauce was saying that. I'm not quoting any one person, but I believe so let me back up because I said Hot Sauce and the quote all in one. So let me take that back. I don't know who said it. One of the motherfuckers said, if you take a person showing their body and they get paid for it, that's prostitution. Another one said, if you take this professional and that's their job, they're not prostituting, they have a job. So, but the true term of prostitution is something sexual, doing a sexual act or favor, or even, but now that favor could be verbal. You want me to talk nasty to you? You want me to show you something? Not, you can't touch me. You know those bar clubs where you can't touch them. And then there's a topless bar club, and then there's a full nude one. So, but either way, all three of them offer an element of sexual gratification, and if you pay for that gratification, that's considered prostitution. So the OnlyFans. So my whole debate was that whole manipulation thing. If it serves me, if my answer serves me, right, and I need it to serve me, I might give answers that others are like, "The fuck out of here, what?" But I'm truly believing, because so not every, and I haven't done the research. I would say there's a good number of people that do OnlyFans that would not have done it 5-10 years ago. And I don't know if it was our show last time. It was one of the shows I was talking about, to where before it was all about body image, and I get it. You don't want to body shame, no body shaming, no body shaming. This is where the conversation about, shame and or standards and or limitations, even my language tonight, it's like, oh, this is a little bit more aggressive than I'm usually, entertaining / aggressive than I normally am, right? Talking crazy. So at what point is the cap? At what point do we say, whoa, maybe too much or maybe too soon? And so it used to be a time when body image was important, then the less, but not just less clothing, but then the whole image, where we would say larger people go swimming at a pool and wear a t-shirt, right? Male or female or others wear a t-shirt to kind of hide the rolls, even though the shirt is sticking to them and stuff, but they would hide the rolls. And so then to now where you could be totally undressed, hey, get you in a hot second, totally undressed and rubbing baby oil and Vaseline and stuff all over your body and on the camera, and then even age. At some point back in the day, age, you kind of tapped out of all that stuff, and now it could be old people up there just wrinkled and just having a good old time on this international platform with no shame. Men, women, and I mean, size used to matter. If you king dingaling, and you didn't mind coming out of a room, and you didn't care if people saw you because you were proud if they see you. But now you'd be up there, someone with a little half a pinky, and just proud. And yeah, I'm serious. And the camera just rolling. I mean, the camera. It's not even like the thing pop up and they're like, oh, I'll probably have a customer. I'm talking about just the camera's just on, And so my whole point is standards have changed, and now if you said to somebody, that's foul, that's nasty, there might be a legitimate debate. Fuck you. I'm living. First of all, I'm the one up there. So why are you bitching about it? And check this out. You saw my little PD record? Yeah, you saw the little PD record? How the fuck you see it?
Right. Why are you looking?
Yeah, come back, tune back in and pay this time, motherfucker. Since you up there looking at PD record, come on back. Right. So my whole point is someone's willing to argue because they truly believe that their sacrifice is something that's dear to them and that they cross that threshold. Like, I finally have the courage to do it. Who are you to challenge my courage? They don't hear the argument about who are you to tell me I'm nasty. They hear the argument about you challenging their courage. All right.
I like it.
Sean and Beans.
Hey,
welcome. Salute to you both.
What's going on?
Panel.
Long
good to see you.
Good seeing you as well. Good seeing. Well, I'm just interested and curious to know, Doctor, how you know so much about OnlyFans? Because I've never been on it personally.
Oh, yeah. I would tell you.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, but for those who are wondering, because I see all the channels. Oh, and I want to show you. So first of all, I work with polygraph examiners, and the clients have to tell what's called a full disclosure from the time they were born to now, anything they've done sexual. Because by the time they get caught is for the one thing. They finally got caught for the one thing. Or have you ever heard about those people that say, no, it only happened one time? By the time they get to court, is like 40 victims. So they do what's called a full disclosure polygraph. And before you do the exam, we process it together.
Okay.
And so
well,
when
like I said,
together,
but that's good to know, because I didn't really think about it from that perspective. And that makes sense the way that you just explained.
So on one hand, I'm listening to, all right, well, there was a cow one time. And can I be honest? Please do. It was 32 dogs. And you still live on the farm? How's that work? But so anyway, I hear all that. Then I have probation officers saying, I'm blocking them and I'm monitoring their stuff. They want to be on a channel called Discord. What do you think, doctor? Is that a cool? Hold on. Let me check it out. Send me the link. So I have to go on these sites and see. Oh, wait. Reddit has these subdivision. No Reddit. Cord, Discord. And then intimacy. And I'll land with this. There are people who are aroused by little ones. And we're trying to help them now develop arousal for older people or adults. So we don't say, go and watch When Debbie, we don't say that. We say, what about the swimsuit issue where the person is scuba diving for fish, but she's in a G-string and the guy's behind her with a camera and the whole show is about fishing, but is arousing, it's very ooh. And so then healthy soothing, when is it okay to get one of them little tube things of Vaseline, or when is it okay to get a big tub of goob? I mean, boom. And when is it okay to, so I have conversations about sex and what's out there every single day. And I got to check, I work with all spectrum. So non-gender, other people, well, can you check this out? And so, whereas we might argue, ain't no man out there doing that. Ain't no man out there. And then I open Corn Hub and then web private camp. What the? And some big job of the hut up there just, ooh, and just like, God damn. And then right the very screen over is dude with just this pole. Just like, God damn. So anyway, that's my answer to all those to those questions. And people are like, you just saying that, but you can verify, Google me, you'll see the type of work. I'm a forensic.
Right. And what's interesting about some of the things y'all was speaking about, you just mentioned a little while ago, shame. And who's to determine what's shameful then becomes a question, because that can lead us into different directions. Earlier on, you also mentioned the manipulative, I said the manipulative ways of men, and I challenge men all the time on their manipulative skills and abilities that they try to disguise. And unfortunately, we don't challenge one another, men. We don't challenge one another as often as we should. And because we do have controlling and manipulative ways that we just sometimes condone in the sake of that's part of the game.
Right.
So when you were bringing some of that stuff up, it was, tapping into those ideas and some of the circumstances that I've had about it. And so I just want to acknowledge that you was definitely tapping into some real challenging circumstances that a lot of men like to overlook that they do,
right.
And the intentions of why they do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because sometimes we could tell a lie so it feels so real, like believing a lie so much is our truth. I could take a person who grew up in the ghetto and everything was about survival. I mean, I love my little brothers and sisters, but we were surviving. So in my mind, you better get yours when you can is a real deal. But does it have to be that way? But now you have money. I don't give a fuck. It's a real deal. So my relationship with my woman, if your cousin come over or your sister come over or one of your friends winking at me and fucking with me, it's on them. Yeah, if your friends, it's on them. And for this person who you better get it when you can, or if it presents an opportunity, that's never been wrong for them. In fact, it's been survival for them. So they truly believe if it's out there, I'm getting it. I'm taking it. If she lets me get her pregnant, that's on her. No, but you're gonna have if it's out. So for them, that's some retooling. But then retooling to make it your way. And who says your way is the right way? Who says your way is the right way? So that's what the other part of the challenge is, because it's all I know. It's never caused me no harm. Boom. Little Beans, what's up? Little podcast.
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. It's been a while, King. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, what's going on, Beans? What you think of our combo?
I got so much stuff that I really want to say.
Say it. I was talking a lot. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, no, it's just that, but not. It's like some of it. I don't know if it's on topic or not. It's just like you know, being able to converse about things that you heard. When the brother Sean was just talking about men being manipulative. When Coach K talked about people asking questions specifically to get certain answers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just starting to realize that a lot of this shit, to me, I really think it comes down to low level thinking. And I'm not trying to be offensive. And the reason why I say that is because if I'm actually, like, let's just address what Coach K was saying. What if I'm trying to find out how many men that a particular woman has been with? And if I ask her, how many men have you been with?
Yeah.
And she says, not a lot. Did she answer my question? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's different. But I see what you're saying.
Right. And so, but that's what I'm saying is a lot of this stuff that we say, especially against men, we say it against them without any context, when men are most of the time, in my opinion, just in the pursuit of truth. And we have to dig through a whole bunch of BS just trying to get to the truth. Right. If there's
but hold on, let me catch that one, catch it again, sir. What was the question? How many men, or if you've been with more than one?
No, how many men have you been with?
Okay, so that's looking for a number.
Absolutely.
So then the answer of a lot is not quantifiable because it's not the number. So then therefore you have not answered my question.
Right.
Yeah,
so
and I agree with that.
But but this is what happens, right? So I'm using this as an example. It's just an analogy, right? So then I say, well, have you been with more than 10? She don't answer that. Well, have you been with less than 5? She don't answer that. And they say, you just trying to get me to say what you want me to say. Yes, that's the reason why I asked the question in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I asked the first time because I was trying to get an answer to that question.
Right.
So since you're not answering that question, I have to keep asking you questions to get the answer to that question. That's not me being manipulative.
Right. Well,
let
me ask this though. What is the reason for knowing the number?
Say that one more time.
I said, well, that might be the case, but what is the reason behind wanting or needing the number?
Right. So I could answer that, but again, I'm just using it as an analogy. I'm using it as an example to show how men will be asking questions to try to get a certain answer. You're being evasive. You're not answering the question that's being asked. I asked you 3, 4, 5 more questions, and then you try to say, I'm trying to get you to answer the question the way I want you to. Yes, I want you to answer the question that I asked you. Right? You can switch it from how many people you've been with to anything. You know what I'm saying? Is that your real hair? It's on my head. It's on my head. It's not an answer to whether or not that's your real hair.
There's some lawyers up in here.
Beans, you're making some great points, and I even understand that. I guess to the doctor's point is the root of why you're asking the question then becomes important as well, because a lot of times some men are just wanting some logical, tangible answers that we can actually sink our teeth into and process on whether or not we want to move forward or whether or not how we want to move forward. You're right. But then again, there's been a lot of men who didn't do that, and some women who have been subjected to the manipulative men, and when they did ask, it led into something that actually they got trapped into, and they are a little bit more evasive because they're concerned about getting trapped again. And we don't go to the point, and this is why I bring it to the men's often, because we don't ever identify that sometimes we're dealing with, and this goes with either gender, a puppy that's been abused. And I'm using that as an analogy. And that puppy that's being abused, you know, you trying to pet it, you're trying to feed it, you're trying to do good things for it, but it's growling, snapping at you and doing things because of the other abuse that they've been through. So to your point, it could be not that they're being evasive, but they're being protective because they've been abused and sometimes don't even realize it.
Right.
So the reason why I would push back on that is because in my belief, I believe that women are way more manipulative and way more abusive than men have ever been.
And because you believe that, you have a pushback. But let's just say they weren't. Let's just say that it's the other way around. That men been abusive and women got it from men. Let's say that. Then whether you believe it or not, let's you know, I don't know. Neither one of us know one way or the other. So I'm not saying.
I think we have evidence to show one is more than the other, right? Like,
give me the evidence then.
So, what were we talking about the other day? We were on a podcast together. We were talking about something specifically. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember because I want to tell you exactly what it was we were talking about. Because basically what we ended up breaking down, it was like, okay, you're saying men do this thing, right? And it was like, okay, we could see that men do this, but now here's 9 different versions of how women do it. So who really does it the most, right? We were talking about schools and teachers who have inappropriate relationships with let's just call them children, right? Well, the statistics say that 80% of teachers are women. So who do you think statistically, if the statistics say that 80% of teachers are women, who do you think has more inappropriate relationships with their students, men or women?
Well, what you're saying, you know, if you're using that as a stat, could be true, but also you got to understand this: the consequences that we've been groomed to understand we will receive for dealing with somebody younger than us are different than the consequences that women have learned that they would face, and it's an unfortunate reality. So the likelihood of them doing something that we have a bigger consequence for is likely that they might challenge or explore it. But if we go ahead and we start looking at men who didn't get caught, some of our friends who mess with a little young girl, and we're just talking younger and not saying, you know, I'm not going into the age appropriate of the P word, PED word, you know, but I'm just saying we have been taught right now, if you're 60 and you have a 30-year-old, if you take it back to when we're 30 and 15, I'm sorry, 30, we couldn't even have a relationship with that person. But a lot of men do have relationships at 60 with 30-year-olds. So it's just a different consequence, time, and offense that we're basing it on. So to your point, statistically, yes, but that doesn't negate the fact that the idea or that it's still possible and credible that men still might do it in a bigger number than statistically is shown.
So,
let me jump in real quick because 2 things. Want to bring Tommy up. Oh, Tommy's here. Want to let him get in for a second. Want to give a couple of shout outs. Medics in the house. Dino Dinosaurs in the house. Welcome. What we know podcast is in the house.
Hey,
Thank you for being here. Everyone, this is the Black Man Unfiltered Network, and the show with Coach K and I is about cheating. Are we cheating or am I tripping? And we all have an idea of what cheating is, but we're looking at how the changes in our society, the changes in definition, and how that impacts now what people might be accused of cheating or not cheating is the new norm. It's okay. It's not okay. It's taking it out of religious context. It's taking it into this other realm. What is it all about? So I hear the conversation we're having now. Awesome conversation to keep it kind of toward in that realm of cheating, not cheating, jealousy. I did want to throw a myth breaker out there from Coach K and I in regards to what you two were just talking about. And that is, if we know for a fact there's 80% women, more opportunity for women to cheat, then why even have the argument? Like, why have the debate? And so we kind of just go. If you have those type of leadership skills, the conversation isn't, let me prove, not you podcast, but like if I'm arguing with someone, you're a woman, man, all I already know that. I'm going to reduce 80% of my stress and not have that argument. My statements are boom. The flip side of that is when we're asking questions, please consider the shame element that goes with it. So if you want to know, I think Lou Medic said something about, we want to know how many men just for performance comparison. But if that's really true, do we really want to know how much nut she's had in her mouth too? Because then are you still kissing her? So if we were that worried about all what's been going on, are we still performing? And so if you think about the shame factor, my definition that I've been, the definition that I've been teaching from for a long time, it is the painful feeling arising from the consciousness of something dishonorable and ridiculous. So if you're a drug user, it's when you're high or trying to get high that you engage in some desperate behaviors. When you feel whatever, you engage in certain behaviors, trying to make this point. No, you're not hearing me because you're trying to play like I'm the fool and I'm the wrong one when you need to own your shit. And so me attempting to get them to own their shit, I'm escalating it and they feel more trapped and more, you don't need to know that. You just want to prove your point. Well, what the duh, hello? So answer the question. See, you're the one. And now we're going back and forth, forgetting that is their flare system. That is the way they deflect. So I don't need to engage longer in having that argument. Break the cycle, bust that up when you're ready to have the mature conversation, not have this back and forth shooting flares. And yes, I keep asking and you keep not answering. I'm not going to engage in that conversation with you. Same as going to the judge. They're not going to engage in a bunch of that back and forth. Boom. I said, be quiet. Here's what it is. So I just wanted to offer that to both of you. I am going to give you a chance, Little Beans, to respond to Sean. But at the same time, I also want to be aware of time. Tommy B, welcome to the panel. What's going on with you, brother?
What's going on, y'all? So, like, I have a perspective from this because I've kind of been on all sides of it. I think the biggest problem I think people have, men and women have, is they like to play with the devil when they're in relationships. So you go to work, men like to play with the cute girl. Women go to work, they like to play with the cute guy. Men will literally play with the cute girl with the mindset of, I can't get her anyway, so I'm going to just play with her. So it's literally not even on the type of time that you're trying to do it. The problem comes in when the offer comes. And then it's like, oh, shit. And now you got a decision to make. I got homeboys right now that ran that through me. You feel me? The opposite side is, and this is why I tell like a lot of my female friends when I had conversations with them, is engaging or being vulnerable with these men is a very dangerous game to play. Because I put it like this, like God gave me like superpowers that I can use for good and I can use for bad. When I was young, I used them for bad. I'm very fucking good. I know how I can tell when that hairdo is different. I notice when them nails is done. I notice when a little bit of weight didn't drop, etc., etc. So in a lot of the workspaces that I would be in, even if I wasn't on that type of time, just because of how I naturally am, I could put a lot of women in a troubling spot. And so again, it's playing with that what they call it, playing with Pandora's box. So it's like your mindset going into it isn't necessarily like I want to do something, but just playing with that can end you up in a fucked up situation. So I was in the military, and Coach K, your husband's in there. I'm sure he can tell you, bro, I'm talking about all day, every day. If your woman worked with me in the military and there was an inkling of trouble in your relationship, if I wanted her, I had her. Period. Easy work. And it's because they want to play with Pandora's box, but then play innocent as if, oh no, I'm not really doing it like that. You know, I'm just, you know, it's just a friend type of deal because they like the attention or whatever that comes from it. But again, it's a dangerous game to play. So when you say what's cheating is it's hard to say because you could innocently be friends with somebody, but because of the access you're giving that person, it can turn into something that you didn't mean it to be.
Right.
And like, so you got guys like the younger me out there who I was a professional at turning it into that.
Mm-hmm.
I listen greatly. Like I said, I'll notice the hair, I'll notice the nails, I'll notice the little weight loss. I mean, boom, boom, boom. And see that I think the advantage that guys like me who were single and was out there have over like guys that were married at, you know, 19, 20 is your experience with the woman is usually like with that one or maybe a couple of girlfriends before that. For somebody like me, I've went through the ringer with a bunch of women. So I've heard oh, you didn't notice my hair. Oh, you didn't notice this. So in my head, that's been banged in my head. Oh, you got to notice this. Oh, you got to notice that.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I'm dealing with somebody who's dealing with somebody who hasn't dealt with all that, I got the details. I got the advantage over you. And so she can become an innocent as hell. But it's like, you don't even know. You playing with the devil.
Right. He knows your you know the weak spots. And also that goes to grass is greener, where it's easy, you know, if you've been with this guy for a long time, you're not getting those compliments, which may not be a fault to him. I mean, is she giving him compliments? Probably not, whatever. But, you know, you're getting that, you know, that validation or whatever that you're not getting at home.
Absolutely. And like me, like when I say the superpowers, like I'm 6'4", I'm decent to look at, I'm in pretty good shape, right? Okay, so that puts me in the category that probably most of these women, boyfriends or husbands ain't gonna be in there. So for a lot of them, I'm lightweight of fantasy. You feel me? Then, and not to get too deep into it, but another thing I used to explain to some of the married guys is that bedroom is different for you than me. You can have a lazy day. I can't, because I ain't trying to have a BDR, bad dick report.
Right.
So when
wait, you said you're 6'4", but you try not to get too deep with it.
No. I'm saying when I talk about this part is with as far as like the bedroom aspect, because when you're with somebody for years, you're not gonna get an A+ performance every single time. You get what I'm saying? If you're single, you kind of got to, or you know, she might not come back, etc., etc. So
like one chance type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
Tommy B, let me pause you for a quick moment because Coach K is going to give some final words. She's going to jump off, and then we'll continue. Oh, don't apologize, please. We're happy.
No, I'm sad because this is a great conversation, but
yeah. See, Tommy, you talking about the good stuff here, and Beans and Sean, y'all come up here, and we conversation start getting good. It's like, damn, God dang it! So we definitely got to look at a part 2. Coach K was just talking about that. Like, dang. Right. So, Coach, why don't you give us some final words?
This is a great. Oh, don't do this to me, CBN. Take me. Thank you, though. But
it's our show. Do your thing.
No, then you stay up here with me. But no, thank you everyone who has been live with us or is catching the replay, and everyone on the panel, and also CBN in the back, engineering, and also BMU for allowing us to have the show. But no, this conversation is good, especially because of all the panels you hear talking about this and just the different relationship dynamics. But I will go back to what I said earlier. I think it is a bad idea to try to have one person fulfill all of your needs. As now, sexual, my opinion, yes, one person. But that's just me. But now, does that mean that I don't find men attractive? No, it doesn't mean that. Same thing with my husband finding women attractive. I'm the chick because we're in the gym. I'm going to agree. Like from a standpoint where I'm like, yeah, she worked for that. Like, I'm not going to agree in the sexual aspect, but is that cheating? Someone could say yes. I think it's very subjective, and I think people were saying that in the chat too. But I just love what you brought, Doctor, about the we're not raised with just one. I think that's a very interesting point of view, and it makes a ton of sense, especially from like an evolutionary standpoint. But yeah, I don't know. I look forward to next week.
Okay.
I hope everyone comes back, because I don't know where we're gonna take this next week, but
Right. Fabulous.
We'll
do a repeat for sure. We'll do a part 2.
Sounds good. Well,
All
thank
right.
you guys
Coach,
again.
always an honor
And
and pleasure.
yes,
Thank you.
likewise.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll see you guys, and I'll definitely have to catch the rest of this. So you guys have a good night, okay?
All right, have a good night.
Bye, y'all.
Let's do a couple of another station identification. We have Lost in Translation in the house. Who did I see earlier a little bit? Sorry, a minute ago I saw, Wife School Podcast. What's up? Thank you for being here. Lost in Translation, thank you for being here. Lumetic and so on. In case I missed you, my apologies. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. We are talking about jealousy and cheating. Is it real? Not real? Have we changed the game? But using the mental health, going through the lens of mental health and busting the myth. Coach K just talked about being in the gym. Her guy sees another woman over there working out. Let's say she has a BBL or BB, whatever. He's fantasizing about it. And what if it doesn't have to be coach? Let's take it off of that. But are we open, female? Are we open to then letting, if your guy said, put your ass, so you, my woman, put your ass, just, oh yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm not doing no shit like that. So do we offer fantasy into the relationship? Do we have the allowance for fantasy talk in the relationship? Do we allow that, or are we closed up, jealous, angry, insecure, and then talking cap? Look at, you like all that? You like, damn, for real? I liked it, but are you willing to allow me to utilize your body in our relationship to have those fantasies? What do you guys think? Is that bad? Good?
That's just, it takes a lot of emotional maturity to answer and to entertain some of those things. Like Tommy said earlier, there are a lot of people who like to dance with the devil, so to speak. I'm not quoting them, and it's an unfortunate reality, and it's up to you to know what your devil is, or who your devil is. And unfortunately,
yes.
Yeah, sorry. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't aware or don't entertain that, because they want to disguise and try and deflect that the devil even exists. But if you're aware of who your devil is, and your woman offers you your devil, and you know that's your devil, it's on you. But if you're not aware, and she's offering your devil, and then you become aware, then now it's another conversation, because you wasn't aware. And if you genuinely can address it from that angle, like, yo, I didn't realize it was going to arouse me like that. I didn't realize I was going to want to do further. It's kind of like going to the strip club. I don't like going into strip clubs, even though I had to, and I've been to them several times because of the business I was in, because I don't like being around something that I can't just do whatever I want. Having a threesome, for example, I can't see myself doing that, because if I can't openly exercise without having, does she have diseases or this, that, and another, it kind of loses the whole fantasy that I might even have, because I'm thinking too much. I'm like, I can't just freely do what I want. Similar like in a strip club, I can't just freely touch and do what I want. So I refrain from getting myself in those positions where I can be aroused, but yet I can't react to my arousal.
Right. So what if you did have a condom on, but his balls accidentally touched your balls? Is that a fight?
Whoa, whoa.
Never mind. Listen, never mind. No. But see, no. I mean,
if you're in that situation, if you're in that situation and you get offended by your balls touching, you shouldn't be in that situation.
Excellent. That's really my point, even though it sounds crazy. Because I wanted to highlight, and then I'm gonna because podcast, I didn't want you to forget what you were talking about, and Tommy, I don't want you to forget about what you were talking about. I just want to highlight something that you've said, Sean. Honesty. If I already know I can't be in that situation, why am I going to be in that situation? And I'm doing all this stuff about the protection and condom, but dude, make sure, and if they touch, I'm ready to fight. I knew that going into the situation, But I was so caught up in the fantasy, not dealing with my honesty, and now we got this big problem. And then the last piece about this honesty, when we talk about what Tommy was talking about, 6'4" dreamsicle, okay? Girls just see him and just get moist. I'm the type of person, and I said this before, when we were on the show talking about the lady who was in the car accident, she's now in a wheelchair for life. She has a husband. He finds out she was cheating on him. She was on her way to see her lover when she got in the car accident. As his wife, as a husband, do you still take care of your wife? Yes and no. Is my duty, is my honor, responsibility? Hell no, she's on her own because she was cheating, and marriage can be broken due to cheating. My answer was, by the time he heard that story, her cheating will be the last of his concerns. By the time he heard that story, the cheating, when you know your partner and you are honest enough with each other, where you know your dream man looks like who? Shit, did you catch that Tommy B show? That motherfucker. Tommy B, no, I got to tune in. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what you like. That's what you like. I'm secure with myself. You can like Tommy all you want, but you're sitting here next to me. And even if you say, yeah, well, a couple years ago, I sucked on his dick. Damn, have you been using the Listerine? I mean, because you're here with me. The insecurity comes, I can't even have that conversation. I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about that. And then that person feels suppressed. And then, as Tommy said, he senses that. People like that can sense it. You have that sixth sense. You can tell when, oh no, I'm good. You can tell when the woman looks worn down. You can tell when she's complaining that she's not getting enough attention. Now she's vulnerable. Now we can go back to integrity, but I'll land with this. Once she's putting it out there and he's making it clear, you might not want to do that with me. In the movie Life, you might not want to give me the shotgun. I'm liable to. You might not, because once you go there, I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity. So again, honesty, be willing to have those conversations, what you like, what you don't like, what your allowances are. You could talk about him all day long, or I don't want to hear it. Talk to your girls about it, talk to the priest about it, whatever your allowances or agreements are. So I'll land there. Gentlemen, please finish cooking.
You want to go, Beans?
Man. No, I mean, mentally, I'm all over the place right now. But I'm still just thinking about what was said earlier. I think I might have took it personally.
Which part, sir?
What Coach K has said about people digging for answers. But the reason why is because I'm telling you, I'm not trying to make it seem like this is all men. And honestly, I don't think I fulfilled the question that was asking me earlier about Sean, about women being more manipulative. I think it's really easy when you think about it, right? Mm-hmm. Because yes, men probably get to manipulate women with money and force, but there's laws against those things, right? There's no law against women manipulating men with sex. There's no law against women manipulating men with makeup and weave. And there's no law against women manipulating men with children. There's no laws against any of that, right? We can get punished for the stuff that we can do, which is usually force, right? But it's a lot of different ways that women manipulate men. You have men who remain in sexless relationships because they don't want to go through divorce. The threat of having to go through a divorce. And women always say, oh, Lord, a lot of y'all don't even make enough money to pay for no alimony. Yeah, but we make enough to have to pay for the divorce. We make enough to have to pay for my lawyer and yours. Right? And court costs and child support. It's like, it's a whole lot of ways that men get raked over the coals by women, more so than vice versa. I feel like Neo in the Matrix a little bit, even though I've been woke for a really long time. But it's like the more that I learn and then the more that I see this stuff in my own life with the women in my life, it's just disheartening. It's in any time I'm in, like, I don't pretend like men don't do anything. But you know what? Well, I asked somebody the other day, Sean, who's more physical? Who does the most harm physically in intimate relationships? And the answer was men, right? I kind of had a similar conversation earlier with Tommy. The answer was men, and it was men very quickly. They didn't even hesitate. But when you ask people certain things and the answer is women, they hesitate. They don't want to say it. They don't want to talk about it. I had internal beef with Coach K and with the doc because I wanted them to hold my woman accountable so hard. I wanted them to just tell her, you're fucking wrong. Don't sugarcoat it. The same way how he said we're going to do in the barbershop. Why don't we treat the women the same way then? Why do they get this special ass privilege where we got to dance around their feelings and all this extra shit and make sure we saying it the right way and don't... No. How about this, lady? You're wrong. How about this? Is that your man? Yes. That's the only reason you need to respect him. Because he's your man. That's it. That's the only reason you need to cooperate. It's the only reason you need to be submissive, to be feminine, to be fit, to be any of it. It's because he's your man. That's it. Anything other than that, we are fucking bullshitting, bro. We bullshitting. And I'm tired of this environment, bro. I'm really, like, I've went through a lot to not be suicidal. And I'm getting back to that point where I'm starting to think about it again. I have went through a lot. I ain't been thinking about it at all for almost 2 years. But I'm getting back to that point because it's just a stupid ass merry-go-round. Nobody not having no real ass questions. And the only time people want to be matter-of-factly in their speech is when they talking to men. That's the only time we can be direct, firm, and matter-of-factly. But when we talking to or about women, it's always, no, they not nobody's motherfucking victims. Believe me, they not.
Mm-hmm. So let me add this piece, if you don't mind, and I appreciate you saying what you say, and makes total sense, especially about the internal piece. Like, dang it, I wanted people for the work that I do. They won't get that from me, and here's why. I don't know how many relationships you've been in. Some people just have one or two. What was the youngest relationship? Like, what was the youngest when you maybe first fell in love? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, real love was probably 16.
Okay. And so usually what happens, so I'll say 16, but the person who taught us love, usually we were 4, 5, and 6. And I bet my Bears tickets, the relationship with the person at 4, 5, and 6 is the core of your pain. And so what's going to happen is you and anyone else who's been through it, me, anyone else who's been through it, we're going to have a heightened sense because we were betrayed by the number one woman in our lives.
Absolutely.
And y'all can't see it. So you didn't see. And we develop hostility towards them without them even realizing it. Mm-hmm. Mom comes in at 2 a.m. to change my little brother or sister's diaper, and she cracks a toe. Pow! And I'm like, ugh. I don't see it, but I heard it. And then she's up at 6 a.m. making breakfast for dad. And I'm thinking, what's his grown ass doing sitting? I'm only 5 or 6, so I may not using those words, but I'm thinking, mama's toe is like this, and she's still cooking, and he's just sitting there. Now, you would think I'm mad at dad. I can't really do nothing, but I'm developing hostility for her. And when I watch her work that situation and never just say, damn, my toe hurts, will you do this? I watched her manipulate him, talk all kind of shit to him, make him feel bad, played him. And I'm like, wow. No, even though I'm only 6, but children watch and they take note. And we grow with that. And then when we get to our 20s, we don't have to be that old. We get to 16, 20, 30. We have that additional kind of sixth sense to women's bullshit. Mm-hmm. And now, whoa, I appreciate what you're saying. Would y'all? So no one sees it, huh? are y'all fucking? And that's why I feel so like people are fucking with me and my intelligence. It's not that they do it, not all do it intentionally. It's just that your sensitivity, my sensitivity, we talked about it here before in the show, those who are called highly sensitive people, their sensitivity is at a 10 when the normal population is at a 6. So you know what you're going to hear a lot? Dude, you're too sensitive. You're doing too much. You're thinking too much. You're doing why are you always? Because motherfucker, they can't. Let me calm down, because then someone's going to accuse me of being angry and mad. And you know what? Let me just back the fuck up. I don't even need to be here. Y'all have your own little party. Do what you need to do. Deuces, I'm out. So that's why I just wanted to give you one perspective, just one perspective. And that's why sometimes it may get to that point. My only invite is, remember, well, hold on for a second, because we're only talking about 6s. Don't let those 6s fuck with you. Brother, you're at a 10. You may need to reset sometimes. But don't let the 6s fuck with you. You're not the wrong one because you're a 10. You didn't ask to get this insight. In fact, the insight was out of you caring. Why are you? And now, current day, I'm trying to tell you, I'm the one you should be worried about. There's the power. Fuck power. I'm trying to help protect your dumb ass. Well, now I'm the bad guy. So again, it's going to feel like I'm the bad guy, but it started with protection. It's currently about protection, but at a level that the general people won't see, and you'll constantly get that heat to the point where you'll want to back up. Reset when you have to, come back. Reset when you have to, come back. 6s. You're a fucking 10. Period.
That's a very great analogy. And Beans, I was going to say, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I've been challenged with that on several occasions. When in fact, and that's where I had, pushback to therapy or therapists, so to speak. And I've spoken about it because they're trained not to point a finger, or not to be able to say you're wrong. And so often, what you're looking for, it gets frustrating because you know it, they know it, but they just can't say it. And you looking at it like you're afraid to say it, when in fact they're just trained not to say it, because it defeats the purpose of everyone getting healed, not just the purpose of that person who is correct and sees and identifies that other person needs healing. But if they go ahead and jump into it, offense will be taken by that person. They'll get on the defense, and you're back at square one. It's kind of like you're re-triggering, because triggering is what I learned is really, when you're triggered, it's unhealed circumstances that you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And when you trigger or re-trigger someone, it really serves no purpose if in fact you're trying to give them some healing. But to your point, it becomes a triggering point for us who are passionate and loving enough to deal with and identify, I see you unhealed, but it seemed like that person doesn't want healing. I'll go back to that puppy again. It seems like that puppy just wants to bite you and growl at you and fight you, when in fact that puppy is just a very hurt, unknowingly hurt animal that is just afraid. And because they're so afraid, they're posturing in bravery and trying to scare you. But that scare tactic doesn't work either, because you recognize, you just afraid. But so it gets frustrating and exhausting.
Let me say this. Forget it.
Yep. Go ahead.
The reason why I disagree, right? Let me make sure you understand which part I'm disagreeing with. I'm only disagreeing with the part about the approach as it pertains to whether you want to call it counseling, therapy, or whatever you want to call it, right? Because I'm hearing from people who think it's okay to beat on children, right? To literally hit them with objects, whether that be shoes, belts, or stitching cords. Tell me that you have to tread lightly when dealing with a woman. This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. And then when I'm looking at the data, Well, the data is showing me that 40% of couples who go through therapy get divorced. Not only that, we're also seeing these therapists who are coming out and saying whenever they get to a point in the therapy, while they're treading lightly, like you saying, where it's time for the woman to be held accountable or have to apologize, they leave. They don't even want to continue the therapy anymore. So if I'm treading lightly and talking all nicely around this chick and it's still going to lead to the same thing, I might as well just give it to her in the raw from the beginning. What happened? Okay. Like I'm going to use myself as an example.
Before you do, because I want to get Tommy in response to this conversation, I would like to add one more piece to it. Sean, I like what you said. Here's the part that we don't see. If the analogy I gave Beans and an analogy, so not his story, hypothetically, the analogy that I gave, Lost in Translation said that people get to a 10 usually because of betrayal. So if I'm at 5 years old feeling betrayed, and now I'm 25 years old feeling betrayed, therapist or friend or my own woman talking to me like I'm wrong, that's another sense or layer of betrayal. So that's another fuckery where, because remember, I didn't do anything to dad, but I was thinking, come on, man. And why would he not? And mom, why would you? And then one time I cursed in the house and she goes off, she gets on my case, but you didn't talk to dad. So I've always had this thing about how women cap, but not held accountable. Then when my brother tries to talk to me about how I should calm down, and I'm, once again, it's me, huh? And then when I talk to my woman directly and she's like, well, so it just adds on to the feeling like nobody is listening. And then here's podcast. I just want you to understand, you may not ever feel heard because you have a lens or layers that you have that others might not have. And when they do have it, they don't want to compare. They want to seem better than you. Why should I say I'm as fucked up as you are? It doesn't mean getting any benefits. So you'll be in some of these conversations where, dude, you are tripping. You know what? There's that psycho shit again. You're getting mentally on this, man. Anyway, but whoa. Because eventually, guess what? We'll shrink you. You will shrink you, gaslight you. Damn, little podcast ain't been up here in a while. Yeah, he probably out there, da. So keep in mind, know your tolerance level, and the rest you got to kind of, because people going to talk that good shit. Tommy, what do you think about that?
Just me knowing him, you kind of explained a lot, because knowing him, how long I've known him, and him talking about the relationship with his mom, I have the complete opposite with my mom. And so in seeing that, it explains why me and him, like, I've been through some of the same situations that you've explained with women, but the way that I think we handle them or look at them or get through them, or however you say it, are almost complete opposites. And so with him explaining that, it kind of makes sense, because I don't necessarily have these layers that he's saying that you have, which, I mean, like I said, I'm a truck driver, so I don't know about all of that. But it explains, and that's why, like, sometimes when me and you have conversation, I have to explain to you, like, when you ask some of these questions, you have to be open for the fact that some people see shit differently because they ain't been through what you went through. So something for you that looks like 1 + 1 = 2, to somebody who hasn't been through what you've been through, you can ask that exact same question to them, and it's like, nah, that looks more like 1 + 1 = 3. And in your head, you'll be going crazy, like, why the fuck don't you see it this way? And it's like, well, bro, again, like he just told you, you're seeing it through a lens of your experiences. I'm seeing it through a lens of my experiences, which are completely different. So we're going to get to a different place sometimes. And so, like I said, like, the way that you react to a lot of the situations you're in, and I think personality is part of that as well, but I think because of the situations that we have at home, I think that kind of makes a lot of sense of what he's saying, because, like, my home environment was pretty stable. Me and mom's ain't really got no beef. Like, we cool as hell, yada, yada, yada. So even though I've been betrayed, first of all, my betrayal started with strangers. It was outside women. And it started at a higher age. Like, your betrayal, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it started at a younger age with your mom. Whereas with me, it started with girls I was dating. So as soon as you entered the dating pool, if I'm getting this correct, doctor, like, you already kind of had lenses that you were going into the dating pool with. Whereas when I went in, it was just kind of like fresh.
Right, right.
So even though we both been, done wrong and screwed over, we're gonna look at it completely differently because of that.
So I don't necessarily agree with that. The reason why is because I damn near worshiped the women for a really long time, even with all I had went through with my mom, because I ain't never been stupid. I think that's really the difference. It sounds like ego, but it's not. I've never been stupid. I've always been the person who thought for myself. When everybody else, I used to get told a lot as a kid, your mama doing the best she could do, food, shelter, clothing. That's all you need. Doc, you're a smart, educated person. Is food, shelter, and clothing all that a child needs?
No, I mean, to survive the elements, no, they're gonna need a lot more than that.
Absolutely.
Emotional
So this is what I'm
connection,
saying.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm saying. As a kid, I knew that wasn't enough. Right? I was able to see around me. My mama wasn't the only mother I saw. So I saw other mothers interacting with their children. I could see exactly what I was lacking. Right? I'm not throwing my mama under the bus. It was what it was. She had me at 17. She was mad young.
Right.
You know what
and
I'm
there's
saying?
that hostility though.
Prepared, right?
Right.
But the point is that when I got into the dating market, I was looking for the other stuff that I had saw. Mm-hmm. I wasn't looking for my mama. I was looking for the other stuff. All of the nurturing and caring and loving and all of this building up that I had seen happening for all these other. That's what I wanted from the women for myself. So I was looking for that. Now, what I will admit is that the very first time that you made me feel betrayed, it was going to be a lifetime trying to come back from it. Mm-hmm. That much I will admit, that's how much the betrayal impacted me. That when something happened, it hurted and it made me relive all of that I had went through with my mom. I still deal with that to this day. That's why they have something called PTSD, right? It's the trauma effect. But what I'm saying is, the reason why I'm saying I think differently is because what we're talking about now in regular conversations, let's say I grew up in a household with my mom and my dad, and it was the most loving environment, and that was all I seen. Aunties, uncles, friends, cousins, neighbors, church goers, everybody was all this healthy stuff. And then I'm having a conversation with somebody whose dad is coming in the house every day, beating on them and beating on their mama and beating on the dog. Am I supposed to say, well, y'all must be doing something wrong? Am I so stupid that because through my lens of all the men being around me being so perfect that I can't think through what this situation might be? No, I'm not going to dumb myself down like that just because my lens was whatever it was. I'm an intelligent person who has a brain. I'm able to process things. And then and sometimes you might need a little bit more information. So that's why you ask questions.
But Beans, let me give you a perfect example of something you just said. When you got into the dating pool, you were looking for that nurturing stuff that you saw others. Mm-hmm. You know what I wasn't doing when I was in the dating pool? Looking for that, because I already had it. That's what I'm telling you.
But that's not. But wait, don't miss the point of that. The point is that what I'm saying is that I didn't go into the dating pool fucked up about women. That was my only point. I went into.
But listen to what I'm saying, though, Beans.
Worshipped women.
But no, but I think this is what you're missing. If you go into the dating pool, and literally by what you explained, you're basically looking for a mom, damn near. Then when you get betrayed, that's another level of betrayal when I'm going in and I'm not looking for all of that.
Right. So that's a mischaracterization. Wives nurture their husbands.
Right, but he wouldn't have. So, but if I'm correct, Tommy's not going into it with the nurturing that he should have received and never received. So when he gets betrayed, it's like, holy shit, for real? That's how we doing it now? Where you, sir, you've already recognized the game. And all of a sudden now people don't, but cool, I'm not looking for my mama. I don't want my mama.
Right.
I'm looking for the potential that I know women can offer. Y'all
Right.
be out there bullshitting. I'm not trying to look for, save that for Pookie.
Right.
Give me the
That
real
part.
shit.
There
Right.
you go.
Where
That
we get,
part.
where we
That's
have
what
to
I'm
be
saying. Like
careful.
I wasn't looking for a mama. I was looking for a wife.
Right.
See, I grew
Right.
up in the church. So,
Right.
but when I was growing up in the church, I didn't give a shit about nothing they talked about until they went into 1 Corinthians. When they went into 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, that's when I was tuned in. That's when I had my book open. Okay, husbands, love your wife, all this other stuff, marry her, don't do this. Okay, cool. Ephesians what? 5 and 6 and all this other stuff. Love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. Okay, that's how I'm supposed to behave. Okay, this is how she's supposed to behave. That's what I was looking for. Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman. I wasn't looking for a mama. I was looking for a wife. I was trying to start a family early. Since I was 16 years old, like 80% of the women that I dated had children. Even when I was 16 years old, my girlfriend had a baby.
Right. So you might not have been
years old,
looking for
girlfriend
women,
had a
but
baby.
guess what? You might not have been looking for your mama, but guess what? You were dating mamas.
I was just about to say that. Exactly. So inadvertently, you kind of still was looking for that.
No, I
Or
wasn't looking
magnetically
for a
attracted
mom. I
to
was
it.
looking
Maybe
for
not
my
looking.
own family.
Right.
That's
Maybe
what I was
not
saying.
looking, but magnetically attracted to
mothers. Yeah, that you can
Right.
say, but I wasn't looking for a mother for myself. I was looking for a family. I was trying to recreate the thing that I thought I was missing the most, which was mom and dad and family. I didn't have my dad around. Then when he finally get around, he's a dope fiend. My stepdad, who was there all the whole time, he ended up becoming a dope fiend. So that was the thing that was breaking me. So I was trying to put myself in that position to say, okay, I'm going to do something different. I wanted my sons and I wanted my woman so I could love on my woman and have my woman love on me. And what I wasn't looking for a mama, but I ended up dating a whole bunch of mothers because I wanted a family. That's what I wanted more than anything else was family.
But you're going into these relationships with a different type of pressure towards these chicks than I am. You get what I'm saying? Like when I'm going in it, we kicking it. You're going in, like you said, that's what you're looking for. Like, I'm looking for this wife. I'm holding you to this standard. So again, when you fall short of that, it's a different kind of betrayal than, oh, we just kicking it.
Agreed. The only thing that I disagree with you on was the part about the mama shit.
Right.
I agree with. I already stated that when you once you betrayed me, it was a lifetime getting back from that.
Right.
Right.
And I question if Beans falls off or if the woman falls off. Because when there's the intro, she's presenting a certain kind of way. And once he sees, oh, here you go with some bullshit. See, that's not even because some people flip the job description in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, you don't flip the job description. You're not even the person that we would. That's not the shit I was signing up for.
Right.
And then saying, Tommy, like, whoa, this type of woman I want, and now all of a sudden you present some new shit. There was a flip in the job description, and that hurts because I trusted you, gave you my heart. My whole goal was to build us. I don't need you to be my goddamn mama. I want you to be the mama to my kid. I'm gonna support you. You support me, so we can be the mama or papa to our kids. What the fuck are you? What's going on? Or you have kids already? I'll accept them. I'll be that dude there for them, and you be the mama. But now you're on some fuckery. I don't get what all this is about. Why are you? And then when I try to hold you accountable, you want to shoot flares. Wait a second. Because you know what? You already got a kid. How many dudes have you been fucking with? My only question was, how many have you been fucking with? But now all this mad bullshit. Well, how many did you fuck then? I wasn't trying to ask you that, but since you want to go there, how many have you? Well, how many did you fuck? Well, the thing is a simple question. I mean, no numbers start with blah, 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 blah. That's where some of those, I think, exchanges come from.
Yeah, and see, and then another thing is as it pertains to communication. So some people are good at things, and some people aren't. Right. So if you are a person who has studied, let's say, numerology, and you sitting in a room with a few people having a conversation that don't have no clue really that much about it, it's gonna be the conversation might be stressful for you because you feel like you're talking to people who don't have no clue what you're saying. You got to over explain things, and it just feel like they not on your level, particularly about this. What people don't understand is that communication is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm talking and people not understanding because they're too busy trying to interpret instead of taking me literally, right? It becomes
that's
frustrating.
Your fault. It's unknowingly your fault. If I may, when you present and you are trying to shave bullshit, like, hey, spare me this. Where are you going with the conversation? So the receiver either is intimidated by you, is either already not a match with you, or already feel that they're above you. And where you're just trying to have some basic level conversations, they want to tell you how you're wrong. They want to tell you how you could do better, and they want to point the finger at you. So I think when you present, if you present in a way where, listen, I'm not trying to even talk like that, but you gave off. So this is part where I'm saying is your fault, but with intent. You gave off that I'm not a dummy. But since you're talking to people who neither then shrink you or feel like they need to take care of you, or they're worried about your sensitivities, then you're going to get some people to start changing the conversation and just make it muddy for you, to the point where you say, fuck it. And that's where I say it's kind of your fault, but not your fault. Let me make it even more clear. Since you know the type of person you deal best with, don't fuck around with the people who are on some bullshit. The people who you know you can communicate best with, sometimes it takes time, but the ones that are not on that shit, who are just fucking with the conversation, manipulating, then those are not your people. Those are not the ones to talk to. So we train people, we teach people how to teach us. We act a certain way, and then people want to try and treat us that way because that's how we gave off. But no, you read it wrong. Ask me. I'd rather you ask me the question than assume. I'd rather you talk to me than just be going like, wow. Right? I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love questions because when you ask questions versus giving statements, that means that you're actually interested in understanding, to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Instead of you just blanket saying what you think I meant, right? Or just ask, wait, are you saying this? No, I'm saying this. And then when I tell you what I'm saying, you accept it, then that lets me know that you're really truly in the conversation and you're not having the conversation in your own head. And since I'm not saying what you think I'm supposed to say, then now it's becoming an argument and a circular argument at some point, right? It's like even when you were saying that earlier about how trying to avoid that, to me, I think that's what leads to a lot of cheating is that men don't be wanting to have them circular ass arguments. We get to these points in relationships where nobody's really having these conversations. In the average relationship, at some point, the woman is going to be unhappy. They're insatiable. They always think they should have more than what they should have. I've seen this over and over and over and over again. The only relationships I've seen where it wasn't like that was the relationships where the man was like, I'm gonna be honest, they was cheaters, but they were always in this position where the woman wasn't necessarily doing better than them. Without him, she would be doing worse, right? Or the number one thing where I've seen where women didn't behave like that was when they were super religious. And I'm not talking about go to church on Easter. I'm talking about facing the Bible, don't want to eat pork, don't curse, don't worry about wearing makeup and jewelry all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like super religious, everything is Jesus, everything is Allah, Buddha, whoever. Those are the only times I've ever seen where the woman was content. You know, she's either about family, the dude has some sort of level over her that she wouldn't be able to attain without him, or they were super religious. On average, it seems like, bro, every year my mama has something redone to her house. She changed the doorknobs and the sink knobs every year. It seemed like, bro, like nothing ain't never good enough. Now, I'm not throwing my mama under the bus. I'm just using it as an example. But nothing is ever good enough. You got to just keep changing and keep building and keep changing and keep building. And so with these men in these relationships that always have to feel that pressure of she can't never really just be happy, and it's always a reason why she don't want to have sex, and I got to keep up with the Joneses. Anytime her friend goes somewhere, now we got to go somewhere. Her friend got a gift, now I got to go get a gift. You know what I'm saying? And she probably not even properly communicating this to me. I just know she got an attitude. Now I got to question and dig to try to find out why she got an attitude. You see what I'm saying? It's like all of these different things that we have to go through. And at some point, you just want the woman that you're with to like you for you.
Yeah.
You just want her to like you. And you just want her to want you. And you just want her to want to be around you and hang around you and not want you to be worried about whether or not you paying her bills or whether or not you feeding her kids or any of that stuff. She just like you. Right. And I think that's the reason why the majority of men who would otherwise, this is a qualifier for the ladies who will watch this. The majority of men who would otherwise be faithful, I think that's the reason why those men cheat. Is because it gets to a point in a relationship where it becomes way too dutiful. And men want to be wanted too. And the girl at work, she be happy to see you as soon as you come in. Hey, Beans, what's up, Keith? Oh man, we about to do this again today. Okay, cool. And y'all talking and y'all kicking it, and you can go hang out. And it ain't all of this expectation that comes when you in that relationship or that long term or that live together relationship. Is she just like you? And that goes missing in a lot of relationships. And that's the reason why I think otherwise faithful men do find themselves cheating.
I love that. Let me roll with it. And I just want to add to it, not take away. I want to add one piece. There's a reason men like that have become that way. There's a reason men become that way. And they're going to magnetically attract the women who want that presentation, not necessarily that man. So for me, I learned comedy. I learned to give back. I was just a bleeding heart out there. Secret Santa. I know what comes with that are the ones hitting me up every once in a while. They ain't talked to me in months or years. Oh, I'm hungry. My refrigerator is empty. Hey, doc, da. You ain't said shit to me in how long? Right. But because I learned the game, I learned that I'm going to magnetically attract the hustlers, the scammers, and the real ones. I'm just trying to help the real ones, but I'm going to magnetically attract. I'm going to magnetically attract women because I seem nicer than the average guy. But as growing up, I had to learn to be nicer so I can receive nicer. My mom was busting me in the head, and I'm wondering, am I a good enough kid? Am I a good enough kid? So I start to do extra just to be good enough. So the people see extra. Was I performing? Not really. But at the same time, shit, if I run out of money, do you love me for me? What the fuck? Do I have to pay for everything? Do I have to always be giving you something? Always be giving you something. And if I don't, you're going to run off. See, I don't want bullshit like that. I might as well be with her over here. And I keep sacrificing to be with you. I could have been gone. And the dudes you run into, they're not going to be better than me because they are starting on bullshit. I'm not on bullshit. I'm trying to have a real relationship and family. Those are just benefits I offer. So my package may look different on the outside to them than what I'm really about. I'm really about this low key. Let's just stay at home. We can chill, but I know how to have fun and look appealing. So be careful, not as in warning, but be mindful that who you are on the outside, even listening to you, is like, damn, this is a cool motherfucker right here. And then when it gets down to how can I continue to offer you this if you fucking up the relationship? And then when it puts it off onto the men, it's not the men. Stop with the cap. Why don't y'all recognize what these ladies are doing? Keep in mind, everyone brings at least 2% to the relationship problem. Everyone in the relationship brings at least 2%. So it can't be all her, can't be all me, can't be all one. So be mindful of your 2% that might be rubbing in such a way that is causing her to feel like she has to give you the other 80. Your 2% rubbed her in such a way. Come on, why are you fucking up? Dang, here we go. Another dude telling me I'm fucking up. And then I'm going to be sassy back. I'm going to be sassy. And I wasn't trying to be mean to you, so I don't know why you're being sassy to me. You're fucking up the relationship. You are, not me. And that makes sense. But of course, someone outside of you is going to be like, yeah, but beans. Because remember, you're here with the sensory about it. Not sensitive as in, oh, sensory as in awareness. And not everyone's going to have that to be able to match it with you. Brother, I love the conversation. Love the opportunity to share in this space with you. Thank you. Opportunity to keep it real. Definitely agree with what your points and what you're making. Just wanted to add that there's some additional pieces that people may not see, and that's why you might get some of the pushback or some of the things they don't understand that you do. Remember, you saw, not literally, you saw the mama when she broke her toe, and why didn't that dude do for her? And you watched her manipulate this particular hypothetical, so you already have that awareness. So what may look like a one-time situation, Tommy's situation will be new. Like, God damn, for you, you have an invisible backpack of trauma and bullshit that you've been carrying around. So what's one time for Tommy is 8 times the bullshit for you. So it's weighted differently. It hits you differently. Why would you even accept some shit like that? Ugh, look at all this shit. And y'all keep blaming the dude. Stop. All right, brother, man. You be well. Take care of yourself. Peace. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Thank you for those who've been rocking the full time with us, a couple of hours here. Thank you for those who came up on the panel. Tommy B, Beans, Sean B, Coach K was with us as co-host. Lost in Translation was giving some feedback and some excellent points. Everyone chiming in, we're making excellent points. Dragonfly, Lou Medic, Bass. Beautiful animated speaks, Lady Navoa, all of you who've been chiming in here. Thank you. Hopefully we hit some good points. Definitely want to bring this conversation back. Again, the main point is about cheating, or am I the one am I jealous? Should I be jealous? What's really going on? Considering what that meant, but now taking all this new definitions, changing the way that we look at relationships, changing the fact that we used to have committed relationships and now maybe wanting body count. One may not be better than the other, but we're mixed together. What used to be okay, not okay. And so how do we have these relationships not engage in jealousy, not engage in feeling like we're cheated? And at the same time, since jealousy is normal, then yes, have an element of jealousy that provides you, that pushes you to have standards, to have some limitations, to have boundaries, to have respect for yourself and those outside of you, better understanding of what you want in a relationship, and then the ability to ask for it and to demand it, or command respect, meaning you don't have to ask for it. But if you're engaging with people who require you to do so, then knowing how to demand it in a safe way for all involved. Definitely we'll chop it up with you again, the same topic next week. Thank you, CBN in the back, for running the channels. Black Man Unfiltered, thank you for the space on the network here. And to all of you on here live, please make sure you hit the like button if you have not. Hit the like button if you have not. Listening on the replay, please do leave some comments if you felt that this hit home for you or resonated. Share with others who you think might take away from this topic. Peace and blessings. We'll catch you next time.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute. Work hard for the car, so that's why it's all tinted. Wait a minute. Had a real late night, woke up with my head spinning out in Nashville. It's been mad real. I need sunglasses, I need Advil. I like fake boobs and my cash real. I like first place, you're in last still. Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. so high, might never come down. So what? This is my lifestyle.
Look, pocket rocket in my pocket, please don't make me pop it. All these boys just wanna cop it the side, tell them niggas stop it. Whoa, whoa, it's my destiny, feel like Latoya, like it found me my Beyonce, and she shotgun in the cockpit. Grinding with the team, making C-notes. In my pocket still full of green, call it CeeLo. Alligator watch on me, Tim Tebow, and these haters love the